Spacey ship. Spacey ship.
It's time to close out the night here at the Nerd Street Champs qualifier number 6 on this weekly, and we have TSM Academy in the grand final taking down Soar 2-1, and we also had Oxygen Academy off stream take down Trade Like Pros, and now we find a little bit of an Academy face-off here for our grand finals, Chad. So first things first, let's kind of set up the blueprint for this matchup. We've seen how good Harmful and the boys are, but what about Oxygen Academy?
Yeah, Oxygen Academy has definitely been on a hot streak recently. It's the same roster as has been before, but they recently added a coach of Warbirds who had past experience with Renegades, came to Oxygen Academy. Ever since, they've been looking really strong. They actually won their very first tournament ever as a team this past week, about a week ago. So they're definitely looking on the upswing for sure. They also had a little bit of a slow start on their semifinal match against Trade Like Pros, who they themselves came out very strong, but Oxygen Academy made the adaptations needed. They came out swinging in map number 2 and finished even stronger on map number 3. So they definitely have the full wind of their sails themselves, full momentum going to this grand finals.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a similar story to the likes of TSM Academy, but I think TSM Academy, at least on a different level, in my opinion, Harmful absolutely was taking over games, left, right, and center for the map of Bind, and I mean, even Venture himself referred to it as Harmful Academy. So there's something to be said about Harmful and the threat he provides, but of course he does have a pretty solid piece of opposition. Redux as a player has sort of actually glided away a little bit more than Jet and has been primarily playing Neon and a variety of maps and has been absolutely crushing it on an agent which was normally seen to be as just an inting machine.
Yeah, Redux being that player that's that young prodigy, so young in fact that's kind of the big reason why Oxygen Academy is not dropped Academy yet. They can't even compete in VCT yet, so because he's too young, like literally too young for competing in VCT, which is a 16-year-old minimum, which is crazy. But he still like hit like a 367 ACS game on Neon for a fracture of the last map of that last series. Like definitely a pop-off performance. A player who definitely can go in and start slugging it away. The rest of the team as well. They've been playing together for so long. They're so coordinated with each other. And now having that like good coach who can give those call outs, get that like quick 1 minute of just like, hey, everybody need to calm down. Just can call a timeout on perfect timing, or hey, this is the adaptations we need to do. I've noticed y'all haven't done it yet. Like something like that. That is so important to be done on the right timing to be from the coach, that the fact that this team has gone from like consistent quarterfinal, semifinal performances, sometimes going to grand finals, to suddenly getting to frequent semifinal, grand final performances, winning a grand finals, that was the difference maker that they may need to overcome TSM Academy.
Yeah, I'm totally having the third person figure is great. Also, for the side of at least Oxygen Academy, you have Redux, who's kind of like that empathy figure. I think I want to paint the picture of, young prodigy, hyper aggressive. He's definitely going to be a first kill farmer for his squad. So that's at least what's to look out for the side of Redux. In my opinion, Rustin has actually turned out to be one of the more solid Sentinel players in North America at the moment as well. He's turned out to be pretty reliable in the last couple weeks for this squad. Definitely responsible for their victory over NYFU just about a week ago to take their first event. So Rustin, in my eyes, is one of the more solid pieces of the Oxygen Academy squad.
Yeah, I completely agree. And taking down a team like NYFU is no small feat whatsoever. That's one of the premier teams. As far as teams not in the VCT can still compete in the tournaments, that's what most people consider top 5 is NYFU right now. If a minimum top 10, but Oxygen Academy, you gotta say they're up in that ring these days as well. TSM Academy themselves have had very awesome performances. We've seen in the semifinals how good they are, especially on taking a site under the leadership of Inox as their coach. They've done a great job of creating that cohesion needed to actually execute cleanly on a sites over and over. It had shored up their post-plant issues a little bit over the course of that series. We'll see if they can continue that on to this next series.
Yeah, I think they're continually still developing throughout the day. I think the execution from Fade still has to be ironed out. On Haven, it looked fantastic on the attack side. On Ascent, it didn't really find the amount of impact that it did necessarily on Haven. So there's kind of a little bit of a seesaw between that. So yeah, we're looking to see that development from TSM Academy. Jumping over, at least for their side, and if we have map picks and bans ready, it'd be cool if we did. And here we are. Oh, hey, give it a second. There we are. As we do have our picks and bans ready, we're gonna see an Icebox pickup for TSM and an Ascent pickup for Oxygen A. So that looked good, at least for, well, it didn't look too great for TSM Academy. And then split as the final. Any thoughts? I think it's the way I'll just bounce this off of you.
My thoughts, we're probably not going to see the Neon, but we could see Fade, so people are excited about new agents and not commonly seen agents. We could see that coming through. I think TSM did not look very good on Ascent, so I'm not surprised that they didn't pick it. However, they also didn't ban it, interestingly enough. I guess they just either themselves don't like Breeze either in general, because they banned that against Sora as well, or they think that both Sora and Oxygen Academy are just that good on Breeze. But either way, Icebox will be go to first. Definitely looking forward to seeing Harmful back in the reins of a Jet. Had a pop-up performance on Chamber, but his Jet was also fantastic, and we should be able to see that Harmful Redux matchup right off the bat.
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. That'll be a fun duel to keep picking up on. I feel like Harmful, though, stylistically is quite a bit different than the likes of Redux. Definitely still a very talented player individually, but never just the I'm going for an opening pick every round type of Jet player. He definitely has more measured, more structure about him. Not to say that Redux doesn't. But of course, the stylistically harmful does like to take a seat back, while Redux is going to be involved heavily in the opening duels category. So, of course, that is something to look out for. Come Icebox, where we are decently likely to at least see a duelist matchup, but typically for the side of TSM Academy, they've been running duelistless Icebox as of late. So, and it's worked out very nicely for them with Harmful just rocking the chamber. So, not all bad for TSM Academy, all things considered. It's a lot of pressure goes on to Oxygen Academy to be able to take Icebox over the line. But Ascent might be a different battleground where Oxygen Academy can take a head in the series.
Yeah, I think in this meta with no duelist options are a lot more prevalent than they ever have been because of the nerfs to Jet, even though they aren't, not as intense as maybe Jet needed, who knows, but regardless, with the new initiators coming out as they have been, no duelist compositions definitely still have success rates that are rather high, but we still see the common meta of just the Jet or the Raze, which probably see Jet Raze as the progression of these maps for the most part. Yeah, like you said, we might see some interesting options coming out of Oxygen Academy, definitely ones that most people would favor over TSM, especially with how rocky and shaky TSM looked on Ascent earlier on. I have to imagine the Oxygen Academy picked this as a counter pick more so than their own favored.
I would definitely think so as well. I mean, maybe you take a glance at how they performed on Ascent in the previous series, and believe it or not, TSM Academy actually picked Ascent and fell 13-4. So yeah. I'm not sure if TSM Academy are gonna lose confidence in that map, or are they gonna still stick with the fade? Because earlier on today we saw Soar play Split. They got owned on Split yesterday, but they shook up their entire composition, completely ditched the fade, and did a variety of role swaps immediately, just a day after kind of getting owned on the map of Split, and then they ended up dominating, right? Is that going to be a series-to-series switch up for the side of TSM Academy? There are plenty of things to, kind of point out for the side of TSM Academy when it comes to Ascent. So Oxygen Academy picking into it, a risky one. And if TSM doubt themselves, maybe that can give themselves an even extra advantage.
I honestly feel like Oxygen Academy went with on the day pick bans. They banned Bind because TSM looked amazing on it to finish off that series. Picked Ascent because TSM looked really bad on that series, and banned Haven because TSM won that and still overall looked pretty good with Fade on their composition there. So definitely, I think that is the driving force if I were to guess for Oxygen Academy's pick bans. Shows Bind, but Icebox should be where we're going so far, especially since Sages are picked by both teams. That's definitely a tell that while Sage is picked up a Bind, it's not common enough that both teams would grab that right away.
Nah, this is not true. We're playing. Me when I spread misinformation on broadcast knowingly. Yeah, we are going to be playing on Icebox for map number 1. However, more or less seeing the same here from TSM. Of course, there can be a variety of compositions that they can run, but this is more or less nothing out of the ordinary for the TSM side. It's exactly what they were running with yesterday. For the side of Oxygen A, we're getting a very similar composition. In fact, we should probably end up getting the mirror composition here on the map of Icebox.
Select your agent.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty commonly found composition in pro play for Icebox, just because the way the game plays right now, you have so much control going on to sites that you don't really need a Jet that much, especially since Chamber can handle your operation of the operator very handedly. So Redux and Harmful should be just fine. I haven't seen Redux on Chamber a ton, at least from what I've casted and paid attention closely. Largely has been a duelist player. I know that most duelists are perfectly fine going to Chamber as of late, but
yeah,
still I've seen confirmation many times that Harmful is super good on Chamber, whereas Redux, I haven't seen it the consistency and the amount of times as of yet.
Yeah, I think Redux is more keen on playing Jets and much more, again, forward agents. I mean, it's not that he hasn't ever played a Chamber before, but right. I mean, a vast majority of his games in the last couple of months, in fact, the last 30 days, he's I mean, he's played Jet about 50% of the time. So, and Chamber about 10% of the time. This is going to be one of the rare Chamber games you're going to get out of Redux. Probably, as he normally probably would only break this one out for Icebox. So,
Yeah.
Duelist Icebox is now meta.
And of course, the 7 games that we've seen of Chamber for Redux in the past 30 days, it's been averaging a 270 ACS, which is really solid. That's like top of the scoreboard typically, unless somebody has a crazy pop-off performance, and positive KDA. So like, definitely, clearly, a very good, talented player, and clearly has been able to pick up Chamber just fine.
All right, wall is in for Rustin though. Oh, this is I thought he was an off angle for a second. Maribo runs him down, and Harmful the same. There were 4 players here on the B site, and now only 1 stands, and Verno maybe trying, hoping to stop the plan. That is going to stop the plan. Harmful is going to go down to the shock darts of Verno. 2v3 Redux looking for a headshot, and he's going to find it on the ZK. And Verno the same. 2v4 happens for Oxygen Academy to start off here on Icebox.
Fantastic response. Verno honestly stopping that plant was massive buy time for Redux to get in position. They just have the ability to get some 1v1s under their guns there. TSM Academy, I mean, we've seen if they can go and execute, defending teams have such a hard time staying alive and sustaining that wave of cleanliness that TSM Academy provides to the table. But what to get into that kind of like scramble, TSM Academy kind of falters a little bit here and there. So Oxygen Academy, if they can find the moments where Verno disrupts the plan and allows
God.
Redux an opportunity to get some headshots in just like that, then things could go the way of Oxygen Academy.
Please remain seated here, Harmful. You got there's a new sheriff in town. Redux kicking this game off with quite the bang, and Verno transfers perfectly. Last bullet in the mag will do it for him, and Verdi the same. Flawless for Oxygen.
It all just comes down to Redux getting the opening frag, anti-eco situation as well. TSM Academy ran out a little bit of steam, couldn't find the easy way onto the site. But we'll look at them going to this round instead. They definitely favored A site just now. Looks like they're going to go right back, and it's just Redux all alone on B site. We'll have a rendezvous for fast rotation if needed. Interesting Viper's screen. Off the screen.
Let's see. A little bit of a wall that crosses the site, not just the wall of the screen itself. TSMA will. It's an interesting place to launch the drone, right on the edge of jail. Venture's going to be able to clear out a good chunk of the site. Oh, a perfect flash tossed in by TSMA, but Revo still can't convert at the back of it. The fragment will do enough. Verdi will catch Harmful on the cross. The spike down in towards Nest. That was a cool attempt to get it into Nest. ZK, though, still has fighting words. As Verdi does fall. The flank as well from Redux might not be accounted for, as he's actually going to use the operator on the flank. It doesn't hit. Movement, not good enough. Verno, though, trying to bring it back. Now it's only Verno on the site. They're going to chase him down, and now they actually get their opportunity to hit the B site.
It's a good swap option for Redux there. Having an operator buy it, but it's going to be unfortunate.
30 seconds left.
Money's gone on the anti-bonus, or the bonus round. They buy an operator and to drop it regardless if they win this or not.
Ooh, an opportunity there for Redux. He's playing the bait and switch. He knows, he understands what they're trying to do here, trying to get themselves a crossfire setup, but Redux has to pry it apart. He's going not to get pinged out. Still gonna hold his nerve and even consider the push into kitchen, but he needs to pry apart 2 1v1s. And he knows he's waiting for an overextension, but right now Redux is taking too much time to work on that one, and TSM Academy will pick up their first round on Icebox.
ZK last seen in top Nest. Bait step was there to try to make Redux think he needs to swing right or something of that sort, not realizing there'd be a second person there, which Redux was waiting for it. Clearly experienced player at this point, but still crossfire setup. It's virtually impossible to be able to win out that scenario. Hunter's Fury is available at the very least, and that was their bonus. Redux should be able to be just fine with a Headhunter in hand.
See what Redux has to work with. I have the teleport anchor set up, and no one's going to be coming his way. Instead, a site simulator, perhaps. Drone goes out. For the moment, though, right now it's still not very committed just yet. Get to see the full IQ broken out here for TSMA.
Here.
Just waiting at the moment. Just trying to see if there's any counter utility. Waiting for them. Now they'll make their move. Rebo begins his move into the site, breaking down the wall instantly, and a wall goes up himself to allow for the cross into the site. A very unique execute being thrown in by TSMA, but Nerf back in the site finds two, shutting down the execute in its tracks. Rustin now swinging for it. He'll get his one plus damage, and that's the end of this one. Oxygen Academy right back into it.
A very telegraphed take on the A site, especially since TSM Academy's gone for it 3 rounds in a row now. Oxygen Academy had a very instant rotation back. Something that we saw from SOAR was they were very stubborn and not wanting to move once TSM was positioning and providing presence on a site. That might have been because of how hard TSM Academy was trying to train them on the very first map of the series, where Oxygen Academy has not been trained that way just yet, and is definitely more willing off the gate to make those fast rotations happen. Yeah, TSM Academy, they can't just stall out like that and then push through. Oxygen Academy was able to set up for it. Now, challenging from mid. What a shot from Harmful.
Second shot out the Headhunter finds the head of Verdi. 4v5 right now. Redux, though, still pushed aggressively. Teleport anchor ready to go. Couple eco going coming his way. Drone tossed in, though. He's going to use that and teleport away very quickly. So the ball has to be handed over to TSMA, and they'll begin their move up in towards the site. Viper's Pit to even follow up as well. Spam through for Redux, not quite connecting. Spike due to be set down in just a moment. Doesn't want to quite sit in the Viper's orb just yet. So much spam coming through that the spike actually gets dropped on the ground by Verno, and ping's even coming through. And Verno's gonna get himself a second through the spam, but Harmful, another. Surely that's where it ends. 1v3 from Yellow, pinned towards every angle, and now he's being closed in upon by Verno. About to get flanked, get finished. It'll be Rustin, sad to do the talking. 4-1 right now for Oxygen Academy.
It's really early, but could this be another map that TSM picks and they just get blown out on? That would be a rough thing for the mental. But timeout coming through. Nax calling it. This is the perfect timing to do it. They'll have another big buy-up coming on, and they have a null command to work with as well to get onto the site. And something I've noticed from TSM Academy is their executions of the site that we hyped them up for was largely consistent and clean so far in the day, but that was against SOAR that had only like 2 or 3 people on site, majority-wise. But this time around, Oxygen Academy, a lot of credit to the Viper usage primarily, being able to just completely lock them down, slow them out. The Sage usage from Rustin as well. And they are very happy to fast rotate over towards site. So I have to imagine that TSM during this timeout talked about how they will start setting up some bait and switch plays instead, just so they can calm down the Oxygen over rotation strategy, slow them down a little bit, make them get punished for a round or two perhaps for over rotating fast, and be able to start getting things dictated on their own terms a little bit more.
Right. Perhaps a couple lurks could be on the cards here for TSM Academy. Right now, of course, Oxygen Redux decides the tempo of the game.
Here.
And nose pressed to the wall in towards 2. I think we know what he's up to. He's going to start pushing forward, and now has the anchor to work with. Now the teleport's ready to go for Redux. Waiting for a flash. Does actually get team flashed, and, well, that's kind of the end of that play. Not quite sticking around for that one.
Trying to maybe do like a counter play, like a double fake kind of situation. Could be the strat here.
Perhaps.
No, they're pushing actually fully
They are
onto
ve-
A side at this
They are
point.
very committed for this, the most
Yeah.
part. The spike on in Rebo's hands.
Maybe just have Harmful pushed up to maybe get like a pick.
That's
And
possible.
if that happens, they can instantly rotate around. But mid control is there for Auction Academy, so that's not a good viable option either.
Viper's Wall still has yet to be used, and now it will. Now they're just trying to do this with surprise factor. They have no command up and running too. No teleport here for Redux, but he's going for the smoke push anyways. Right on through, and snaps up to ZK. This guy has no limits. A second, a third kill for Redux. Unbelievable. He just does that without a drop of utility, a drop of support. 2v5 for TSM to dig themselves out of. Now to 1v3 for Payin, and Verno's gonna clean house. Redux is just different.
That is exactly why we highlighted that player on the build-up to this series to be the one to watch. That young gun, the Prodigy. He's so good at such an early age. It's incredibly impressive, and hitting those shots was immaculate. Like, two of those three were flicks, and they're straight to the head. So clean. I thought he had the fourth as well. That was so close. What a round from Auction Academy. What a round from Redux, especially. Verno as well at the very end of things, closing things out as well. That's not to be completely outshone by those early first 3 kills. But now they have a Viper's Pit to work with. They have their own old command. And TSM Academy, they've been getting ultimates to work with, but it's just they haven't found the answer yet.
Let's play.
Redux is now working with the tour de force. Both players get suppressed. You know, you kind of get some early time for the defensive side if you want to get aggressive on towards A. Hold on, look at this off angle from Nerfed. We'll get tagged out. Oh, Hunter's Fury tossed in. Looking for a snipe. So close. But Harmful survives. So, well. So holding to the 5v5 with a mid push.
Play for a mid push. If they can rush onto B site, they can at least get a plant down.
Just
is the
Rustin with
theory,
an
but it's gonna be hard to
Odin
hold.
in tube.
Oh no, it's a kill chamber.
Oh, this is a blender. Welcome to a TSM Academy smoothie as the Odin, well, it's 2. Nice shot there from Payin, but it's not going to beat Redux's tour de force anytime soon. And even the wallbang pot shot. Venture gets 2! Oh my god! I just get wallbanged out by the tour de force, so it drops him down to 7. But a 2v2 is oh so doable, but Verdi might be just one step ahead of them. They walk up mid. Verdi.
Surely this is cleared, right?
Surely Verdi readjusts. Oh my gosh, the tour de force of Harmful has turned it on its head. A 1v2 required for Redux, and Harmful is going to find them. Tour de force works out. Thrifty round for TSMA.
What a round by TSM Academy. Venture and Harmful especially. Venture getting so Venture hitting those 2 pop-off shots was everything. And then Harmful just being clean to check that, aggressively get to the stairs before Redux was ready for it. Caught slipping a little bit. You can see why these teams are in grand finals. Like, not only are they making really good macro plays overall, but their individual ability to just pop off and get multi-kills like that is insane.
Oh my, that's a wallbang. That Rustin. Dude.
Today in Valorant.
That is a wallbang. Didn't deal actually a crazy amount of damage, but you know, it did take all the armor off of Harmful, so maybe I'll take that back.
Take those. Your position. We have to work with a lot of utility to get past this toxic screen drop though, because it completely fell off sight. Rotation's coming underway, so they're gonna be here on good timing at the very least for the retake.
Oh my! This is a play from TSM. Oh gosh, a team kill from the Hunter Fury. That ain't a great start, and Nerf leaping in. You know, it might have been a good play in theory, but it quickly disintegrated as everyone from Oxygen were waiting behind the wall, and TSMA leaped right into them. 6-2.
Man. That's unfortunate that Rebo fell. They got the kill on Rebo there. took some damage on the way in and was weak enough because such a little damage that the Hunter Fury does, and they were looking healthy. So I think that's why Venture thought it was fine to not have to dodge Rebo, but I think some spray fire got them weak enough at the exact same timing that it just came through. Very unfortunate combination of events. That was a round that you have to feel like TSM Academy needed to win, that they really should have won based on how they got map control at least. To convert though, and now they are forced into another save round, which they won last time, so I mean maybe yet again, but still definitely a tough spot to be in.
You know, you mentioned how this could just be another map where TSM pick and then get blown out on. This is
It was the curse.
This is starting to be quite a realistic prediction. Nerf's gonna utilize his one way.
Not the 9-3 curse, but the map pick curse.
Perhaps. Just don't pick maps, and then you're good.
Yeah, can't I just ban another map instead?
Yeah, that'll...
Imagine if Sesame can elect to ban a map, additional map instead of picking one.
Yeah, you'd give your opponent a one-round lead in the series, or one-map lead in the series.
Oh, hello.
Okay, hold on. ZK, 2 kills. No, wait, Bird. Yeah, Bird is going to be able to put that one to rest. Lots of damage dealt from TSMA. No, we were joking the whole time, but, you know, Shares can shoot back, but being reasonable here, that might not be quite as impactful as we think, because we're kind of reaching the later stages of the half anyways.
You got an ult command available as well with this full vibe round.
That is true.
This is a perfect opportunity for them to get back in, especially since there's no Hunter's Fury, Viper's Pit, or anything like that to stop them down. Didn't work out last time. They slow rolled into A site and then just popped the no command explode on, but
Oh, Redux.
they do that again.
Back to his old tricks. This guy!
Wow. Suppress and still peeks the can't rendezvous out. That's crazy.
Oh, man. Redux still holding to no care. Being suppressed, being ran down. Does not care. Verno finding him. Redux still active as well. Still holding the back lines. Might be a pickup here for Payan. Potential, as well as Verno going down. Redux has a lot on his plate, and he will actually fall. But the resurrection is back in as well for Oxygen, but it's still a 3v5. It's still not pretty.
Definitely an ambitious resurrection, but they have so many round leads that they can go for this gamble.
Then Odin in consideration. Don't go. I know, a flick up from the Odin, an Odin flick. Have those words ever left someone's mouth right there?
No.
As now, Viper's Pit expands. Rustin though, still fighting with the Odin. ZK though, 1v2, wall goes up, but ZK swings in, stops the defuse before it gets out of hand, and it's gonna end up being 7-3 at the end of it.
And the operator for harmful as well. Massive find for ZK at the end there. Grab that away from the Redux. Proficiency. So that's that perfect opportunity for TSM Academy to get back into this, because the momentum is fully in the sales now as well. They have a Viper's Pit. If they can find their way onto site, pop that, it should be vibing. There's no ultimates for Oxygen Academy, not anytime soon at least. So Viper's Pit was just outburned.
Gonna take the time to get the orb. That is
1 kill away.
There we are. Or Verno. 1 death away as well. You could phrase it like that.
Well, sure.
Alright. Run into the A site going down. Nerfed. Playing within his own. Actually, his opponent's orb. Let's get snake bited out of position, however. So the pit will actually be able to go in. However, Nerf still on the site and gonna find Payan. Verdi the same. Redux as well. And they're just getting shredded on contact. ZK can't find any success in his own pit, but 2 kills from Venture, a double. But 30 HP, ain't much to work with. But he does have the spike in 50 seconds.
He doesn't know this, but it would have been a 1v1. He could have won and forced another 1v1. However, it was a 1v1 that both players knew about. So just try to reposition, use the time to try to find a better angle to work with. If they can find an opening to make the breakaway B-side, this could be really good.
Yeah, I think Oxygen are aware of this possibility that he could go to B. Even if he does find himself in a post plan on B, 30 HP is...
We can call by them to just group up.
You know, when he gets the plant, he'll get just enough...
Well,
he'll be able to get the Hunter's Fury off the plant.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, this is a little
things
bit
are
of
not
a...
going well for Venture right now. I gotta say that.
He does get the Hunter's Fury at least, but they're gonna run him down. Yeah, unfortunately for Venture. That was, tough.
Got a spike plant. Take those.
I mean,
Not bad.
he would have gotten his ultimate if he, you know, died anyways. I'm not saying, you know, if he didn't, you know, do a little bit of an oopsie, he might have been able to get the plant and get away and play the Hunter's Fury.
Maybe.
We're talking dreams here, though. Right now, Oxygen A are still in full control of this game.
Either way, shout out to Oxygen Academy for not trying to commit to the flank option from Redux. Instead, he just rotate back
up.
to Rustin. Yeah, just work the 2v1. Playing clean, man. They're popping off in individual performances, and all their answers and everything they do on paper is all just like textbook. It makes a lot of sense what they do. Except for maybe a couple times that Redux goes for crazy aggressive plays while it's suppressed and can't teleport out. But even then, it makes sense on paper because it can throw the enemy off and take them by surprise.
So
He hasn't done it beforehand, so why not?
Redux is going to have to be forced often towards B. Take a look in here from TSMA. Now Revo. Well, Redux is going to be flashed off the angle. Instead, they're actually looking to get aggressive, potentially in towards oranges, but you're messing with Redux, and if you don't have a smoke up, this guy would love a gunfight or two, but Pan's going to best him. And looking to put that together, now nerfed, in the 3v3. Bruno now swinging the sight. For the moment, the recon dart will go out, maybe to ping out Pan potentially, but the Hunter's Fury, saved up by Venture, lands a tag, but no kills found until it finds Rustin. 2v2 now, shock darts on the spike, nerfed oh so low, and just leaving Verno 1v2. Shock dart needs to find one, and it almost finds Rebo, but not quite. Venture swings in, and at least an 8-4 half for TSMA to work with. Maybe they can bounce back come half number 2. But first things first, you gotta have a break before all said and done. Grand final underway. Oxygen Academy finding themselves an 8-4 lead on TSM Academy's map pick. A lot of Redux action on all things considered, but being able to find the last round of the half, not all bad for TSMA. It's still, you know, a pistol round to reach, is what I'll say for TSM Academy.
Yeah, not the most immaculate or most diverse attacking halves for TSM Academy. You'd have to imagine that Oxygen Academy can provide a little more variabilities, make it harder for TSM Academy to respond to on defense. However, I will say it is a mirror composition, so by nature, these teams should have just as much strength as the other come second half.
Let's see if Harmful can wake up in the same way that Redux was. As Redux is swinging the entirety of the site, all is in. So once we do that, Redux is. Oh, they're gonna flash on through. Here you go. Greetings, paying, but he gets two with. He still gets two somehow. Rustin though on the trade. 3v2 running through such a tight choke point with classics around the corner is a terrifying prospect. Rustin looking to capitalize, but many dinks. Landed downrange for Venture. Could he make a 1v3 happen as he snipes one out the sky? And Verno so low. The same goes for Venture. He wraps around. He has no idea where both these players are, and the reload is giving away his position, and Verno will take that opportunity to go ahead and peek out. Pistol round for Oxygen Academy. It is not the start TSMA wanted.
Yeah, so far same as the first half. Oxygen Academy still fighting with the same confidence that we saw them on the first half as well. And honestly, that was the same play that we saw TSM Academy do.
Yeah.
We just popped the flash out of the same Viper's wall. It's literally the same toxic screen placement between the two teams. Same pop flash from KO challenge. Same positioning of the person holding, like, is a mirror composition and literally a mirror execution of events. However, Oxygen Academy comes out on top for the attacking side.
I think so.
It's worrying for TSM.
I think it comes a lot off the back of the. I think the wall was placed a tad bit differently as well. There weren't players in kitchen that jump over the top of the wall.
Take flight.
You know, I'm not gonna argue on the point that that wasn't a mirror round. It basically was. But all right, let's see Oxygen at least handle the eco here for DSMA. I mean, the worthwhile investment of 2 chamber headhunter bullets is definitely worthwhile. Probably gonna see, I believe. Marvel is towards the bottom of tube right now. Not sure if he has full vision on the mid cross. Either way, pressure into B on the B side of the map. TSMA basically kind of required to stack. They want him to have a chance of winning a round. And there goes your win condition, I would suppose. Nerfed.
Yep, strong one.
Still Rebo towards the back of yellow, but yep, I don't think his time in this round is very long. He does get a lot of damage off, all things considered. But wall goes up, spike plant in, round 2 to be finished. 10-4. Am I going to call it at this rate? I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it 10-4.
Yeah, they have the spike planted, post plant, numbers advantage. They have long ranges against classics. Now it's just one last remaining member.
No, Venture has a chance. He got this.
Technically, yes.
Dink! You know, there is technically a chance.
Technically, there was.
If Oxygen Academy's keyboards and mice all suddenly disconnected, if an EMP attack hit the... I'm not sure Oxygen are playing out of a team house, so... it might accidentally affect TSMA, but, you know, it takes something of that sort to win that round. 10-4, Oxygen Academy, bonus buy, TSM FTX Academy. They have... This is, by all means, a must-win round. Full buy-in. Let's go.
Ready.
Straight A play. That's what we're looking at.
Very aggressive by Oxygen Academy. I like that one-way step as well. And the slow orb, so they can't peek to challenge him at all. And the shutdown of the player at screens. This is a fantastic take on the A site.
Gonna actually get the plant so easily too, just speeding on towards it. Planted even a little bit in the open, so post plants are reasonable. Right now, Verdi, throw a flash dart have, still has 2 more. Still has an extra one in his back pocket as well. Just keeps bouncing that in, keeps stalling for time as Rustin also gets another kill to his name, a dink too. But the frags are coming in for TSM as still 3 kills consecutively. Nerf getting lower and lower, but ZK low himself. He's sticking the whole darn thing. It's not on the mark. ZK is going to get the defuse. Nerf gets all the kills, but the spike just barely misplanted. And that will get TSMA the round.
I will be honest though, even though TSM won that round, they all died. Look at their economy. They can't fully buy up again. OXG Academy still has 5 rounds in the lead anyway, and they can fully buy up because that was their bonus. As far as bonuses goes, that was a fantastic round for OXG Academy. They got a spike planted and 5 kills with one person saving the rifle to the next. So even though they lost that round, they are still very much in the driver's seat with full momentum in their sales still.
And now, oh, bonus buy took out absolutely everything. Now, it would have been even cooler if they won the round, but doing that just good enough. But was that Venture just burst firing Nerf at that rate and harmful? Chance given. The resurrection could provide something good at least for the Academy side. Opening kill basically nullified.
What can Rebo do with this yellow? It has support.
Ooh, Pan. Support is good. Rebo now swings out perfectly. And another 2 for 1. Another man advantage to work with here for TSMA. And what basically is their force buy. Shifting back though. They get Redux up to tube and the rotation coming to A. This could be huge, but ZK hears every single footstep.
All on ZK.
Oh, but the thing is here, Redux is also cutting rotations and Venture caught unawares. ZK only good for 1. And what do you do with this? Do you wait for your teammate? Do you try and set down the spike? Do you consider a rotate? You don't really have time for the rotate, so how about the spike plant? But Verno now spotting up Pan. Pan's going up top right now, but as the cover of Redux tries to flick up, but Pan not able to get away in time. Verno chases him down on the zip. And a 2v3 taken there for Oxygen A.
The Verno aggression at the very end does it to trade off for ZK, does it to trade off taking down Payan as well. No fear there to avenge the comrades, and that gets Oxygen their 11th. They have all these ultimates to work with as well. They burned the resurrection there, but all good. That could come back later on. They're close to a null command as well. Oxygen Academy looking so good.
Yeah.
TSM, they forced up that round they have to force up again to play for the 11.
Vigo again, force buying into, well, what might just be Oblivion. Now for TSMA, they have to force every round. There's no qualms about that. And forcing out the Viper's Pit so early on. Adios, mis amigos. We are going to the B site, where Harmful has a Glass Vandal. All things considered. We'll see what happens. Harmful not even bothering with the teleport. Cause who needs armor, my friend? You got headshots. Harmful. Still fighting too. Another headshot. Another day. Another slave for Harmful. Another triple kill. But still, Oxygen A are fighting in this round. 2v3 still.
Spike can still get planned though. This timing, they pretty much need to get at least one more frag here. But
Verdi.
will Verdi know?
But Verdi finds Venture, and he's just gonna jump away and get this plant. Amazing. I thought for sure that'd be hunted down by Payan.
No command is available for both teams.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Indeed.
Oh boy.
It's a world of possibilities that could be happening right now.
Wow. There's some things. Wow. Oh
Verdi,
my God.
let's go!
The crazy 4K coming in from Verdi as the no command just detonates his own team. We didn't quite know what happened, but Verdi got the 4K. Crazy round. Okay. I'll say that the kills that we did see were pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fantastic round for Oxygen Academy, honestly. Verdi, like, we already saw Verdi make the clutch moment with getting that first frag, getting out alive, getting the spike planted, getting it safe into the Viper's Pit. And from then on, even though the no command came through, the Viper's Pit doesn't get destroyed by no command, so they still have the advantage of that situation.
And also Verdi now, his turn to use the no command. No one could bother using a flash drive at all. Nothing of the sort to even remotely stop the plant. 5 versus 5 post plant. And Rustin, he's playing the committed angle. Slowly that wall begins to break, as well as the fragment forcing him out, but the orb perfectly placed, but still his barrel spotted. Rustin somehow gets the kill on a Revo and then pushes into it, gets himself the double, and it's just Venture all of a sudden playing dodgeball with the Hunter's Fury. 1v4, everything being thrown his way, 9 HP, and Oxygen Academy are gonna steal TSM's map pick.
It's just a bad day for TSM on their map picks, honestly, and a lot of it was on offensive side of things. TSM didn't do with the bait and switch strategies that often, and hardly at all that I can really even remember. Because all the time, Oxygen Academy was not punished for over-rotating, instantly answering any kind of positioning posture that TSM Academy put up. And then on the offensive side of things, Oxygen Academy just basically did the same thing TSM Academy did, except TSM Academy didn't respond instantly to the sites. It was a little bit late to the game, so they lost the majority of members on the site takes most of the time. And overall, without analysis being put into it, Oxygen Academy members simply just outgunned members of TSM Academy for the most part.
Redux, your prime example, having a fantastic map. I mean, a defender side specifically was looking flashy as heck, as well as the rest of the gang for Oxygen Academy just individually were on point. I think everyone, generally speaking, had a moment to work with for the Oxygen Academy side. So, I mean, they are individually, they are on point, and for the side of TSMA, well, it's trying to be harmful, but I think the one thing here, the difference we've seen today, is that Harmful just it's not that he was missing shots or anything, but the fights didn't really come to him. He kind of had to bring the fight himself, and that was just kind of the difference versus when he was playing against Soar, where he kind of had plenty of aggression coming his way, and he dealt with it amazingly. This time around, he was kind of played around by Oxygen Academy.
Yeah, definitely seemed to be outmaneuvered for the most part, and he had to just go ahead and take a seat in that game and maybe come back next game stronger. What we can do, speaking about strong, durable seats, is talk about Mavix chairs. You experience Mavix Gaming Chairs, exclusive chair partner of Nerd Street Gamers and local hosts. All Mavix chairs, the gaming chairs, feature the future 9 functions of critical ergonomics to support gamers everywhere. Get yours today for as little as $22.22 a month and use code NSG55 to save $55. Shop now at mavix.com/nerdstreetgamers, and perhaps that could be the case. Maybe it was a gaming chair difference.
Yeah, perhaps it was, but for those, you can lean back in whatever chair you're sitting in, preferably a Mavix one, as we will go ahead and send this one off to a break for map number 2 of Ascent. Oxygen Academy trying to make a punish pick work. Could it turn this one into a quick 2-0 in the grand final? We'll see, but first things first, of course, a break. this week's qualifier is taken handily by Oxygen Academy, running them down 13-5. And now heading into map number 2, we're going to have to see something massive here from TSM FTX Academy if they want to rekindle the momentum that they have in the series that even got them here. I'm Vi. I'm joined by Chad Lantis. Let's go ahead and set this map up.
Yeah, the setup for the map is not going to look pretty for TSM Academy either. They looked pretty shaky and a little bit rough on the edges for Icebox, getting outplayed on a micro level and macro level all the way through. And that's a similar look of what happened to them on Ascent against Soar in the semifinals as well. And that was what was their map pick going into Ascent. Decided not to pick up this time around, wanted to dodge a little bit, but Oxygen Academy said, no, you're looking bad today on that. We're going to pick that up and challenge you on it, make you have to show up on it better, which honestly, teams of this caliber, they currently can do that. So there's no reason to assume that TSM is just out of this at this point. They did look good with Fade in hand as well, but there's just a little bit of discoordination here and there on the map that Soar with the aggression on their playstyle took advantage of. But Oxygen Academy will be able to meet that aggression. Will TSM be able to adapt and be able to look out for that aggression? We'll have to find out in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I think this is more or less a punish pick from the side of Oxygen Academy. Maybe they feel more confident on it than TSMA. We talked, I mean, the Fade on like for TSMA on Haven, you know, it looked fantastic when we saw it against Soar. It was a big part of their attack side success. But coming onto Ascent, playing against Soar, it kind of just got, you know, didn't find the relevancy that it needed on a lot of the attack side executes and even trying to find information out. Just because, you know, I think by principle, people think that, well, just because a map is close range, Fade therefore is good. Maybe the choke points, maybe just how the current meta shapes out, at least on Ascent, Fade might not be the best pick, but right now that's maybe something Oxygen Academy wants to exploit. I'm sure Redux playing the Neon would love to breeze right on past a lot of this Fade utility, which is very likely to break this one out.
I think so. That's an interesting prediction, actually. Hopefully he does, because that would be very exciting to watch. I was just kind of assuming he'd go back to the Jet, which is tried and true, good option. Yeah, awesome. We actually already see it. There it goes.
Already
Jet locked in for Redux. Fade as well for Pain. Yeah, I think Fade wasn't intrinsically a bad call for TSM. I think they do look good, especially in offense with it. I think the biggest issue with their composition, whereas I think they lost not because of composition specifically, but because of actual team play and microplay. But I think the issue compositionally for TSM when we saw them in semifinals against Sora was the no hard flash option. It's really hard to shut down Epathy, who had a really amazing pop-off performance on Jet themselves. So Redux, a player who I think can do just the same as what Epathy did. I think it's going to come down to if TSM Academy can handle Redux or not.
Yeah, I think that's for sure. By the way, the Neon thing is complete. No, I was wrong about that. But anyways, yeah, Redux a proficient Jet player, but yeah, he's still going to be the very aggressive force that we know him to be on this map. So, you know, when you don't really, nothing really to hold this guy back, sometimes you might, I mean, there are definitely some better setup agents. I'm surprised some teams might not break out a Sky. There's a lot of opportunities if you want to set up Redux. The way I have seen Verdi play this KO so far, though, is a very supportive one. A lot of people are a fan of the KO, you know, flash drive, right click through a smoke, but Verdi is using these things long range to really help out his team get onto sites. So, I mean, if he wants to really assist in an execute and get Redux out and about, and set him up really well, Verdi's definitely going to be your team player to do that for the side of Oxygen Academy. So I think a lot of this hinges again on Redux, and I mean, I think that does go for a lot of Valorant games, is on that primary duelist and the opening success that he finds.
Yeah, I think Verdi does a really good job of supporting Redux as well, setting them up for success, and being a really good secondary fragger as well. Verno also being fantastic as a follow-up option. Nice and stable, which is what you want from Sova. And on the other side of things too, Rustin and Nerfed, the other end of the roster, I should say, they did a great job of stalling and buying time for the rest of Oxygen Academy to rotate through on Icebox. On a map like Ascent, with those 4 choke point setups, essentially, already seeing the alarm bot set up. They have, for Rebo, I should say, but I would imagine Oxygen Academy would do the same thing. I think they can pull off a very similar execution as Icebox.
See for now, ZK is going to have to duel out with the drone Jiggle Peak. All right, and the Paranoia coming through. There's already a fast split right on the cards, and ZK is going to be the victim. Harmful, though, in the corner, almost goes for 3, but couldn't quite control the spread of the Ghost. So 3v3 is what you're left with. Rebo also finding one back. Hayen, long range with the classic, but Redux getting ran down. Numerous players dropping in. He'll find one, but traded out by Venture. Just Verno, 19 points of health in a 1v2. A lot to deal with. Spots out both players, but no spike. Tough luck.
Minute to work with, though. Trying to go for some audio fakes, back and forth, bait and switches. And it looks like he's going to decide to go all the way towards tree. Oh, does he go all the way through spawn?
I mean, he's going to try to.
I love this. He has time to.
I mean, he has time, but...
Try a bait that he's going to play for tree. It's going to go all the way through spawn of defense, dude.
Hey, but the thing is, look at this from TSMA. What they've done is they've also just pushed into A main. Like, they understand this is a possibility. And the thing is, they're still going to be looking back towards site because they think he might come through tree.
Great real situation with TSM Academy.
Yeah, they're playing together, and Venture's just going to catch him out in the open. Unfortunate, and some may call it unwinnable there for Verno, but, you know, a good effort either way. TSMA, however, pick up these pistols, which have been few and far between for these guys.
Honestly, feel like if Verno posted that recon bolt into a main, like coming out into main site from there, then that could sell it better if he had a lineup for it, which is expecting him to just miraculously have a lineup for any situation. It's kind of crazy, but still, the fact that it was dropped in tree that tells TSM Academy, hey, so he's trying to sell us that he's playing for tree, so he shouldn't be in A main, so we might as well take space A main just in case. It could be either other 2 locations. So great call. It was literally like the highest probability chance play, and this is what they did.
I cannot use that.
Play together in clutches, folks. That's how it works. Right now, oh my god, Redux, what was that? A collateral! A double headshot! Who needs to fire 2 bullets when you could fire 1? But the spike, it's still in spawn. Harmful. Oh no. This could all go to waste. Is Harmful just gonna no-scope Rustin and... Hello. I have just found the spike, and Harmful's just gonna continue the flank. Oh, the beauty that this round could have been. It brings a tear to my eye.
Dash is primed as well in case the shot misses. Verno did get an upgrade.
Oh, okay.
Still no armor.
Marshall Mathers out here. Harmful.
That
Duo.
The double kill came through. I
so
think
sad.
they might have thought they had spike in hand, but
I'm so sad.
I get that the rotation was coming from Rustin, so they'll be able to pick up spike along the way, but it's just such a long delay for it to happen with no mid control at all. A little unfortunate circumstance.
That's a top 10 saddest Valorant moments that Oxygen Academy didn't win that round.
Time out.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool, though. Either way, full buy-in still for Oxygen Academy. However way you look at it, maybe the bonus did enough damage. Maybe that's reasonable to say for that. You can take their silver linings all you want.
It's like how Physic had that insane pop-off Sheriff 3K on Haven against TSM Academy, but they lost the round anyway. That was also a round 2 of the half eco situation.
Yeah. Fort spies are pretty cool.
Happens.
Sheriffs are a great addition to this game.
I agree, actually. Yep.
Oh, no. You always start to get nervous when you hear the Ares ring out. Shock Dart's even being tossed in. Recon Dart in reload. Hold on, they might want to push off the back of that. Recon Dart looking to be tossed in.
Scanning out of charges.
Bang. Oh, it's going to get some pings. He's not actually going to fire off the back of it. Instead, Shock Darts are the name of the game. I'm looking for the extraordinary damage. Venture just isn't quite finding it. Redux, though, dashing in. Harmful just updraft and finds 2. He goes again, but does get shut down by Verno. Still a 3v4 and Verno low. They give great opportunities, but you're going to get rushed in at the back of the reload, or maybe not. Verdi not going to take that chance, and instead going to go through the stairs. 13 seconds remaining, though. 2v3. Venture still back at the site. Ares wallbangs coming on through. Pot comes through as well, and Venture gets the wallbang. There's no spike plant even considered, and even if they did, I'm not sure that round was meant to be. 3-0 for TSMA.
That's the bonus as well. They just converted, got upgrades, an operator in hand for Harmful as well. Venture getting an Odin in hand to continue doing what he just did. What a round from TSM Academy, and a lot of that was thanks to Harmful with the perfect timing of draft with incredible precision with those blades. They'll shut down 2 entry members of Oxygen Academy, completely foil the plans immediately as they took sight, or at least attempted to, I should say. How the tables turn. Redux going the Glass Cannon Vandal option because he will have a blade from next round for the team's full-up buy-up. Had a big pop-off 2 opening kill moment 2 rounds ago. Maybe they could do it again.
That's one of the flashes you can throw into the stratosphere. ZK, what to heaven. You're gonna take the time to wake a couple stars, hopefully to slow them down. Prowler is going to hunt 1. No good. Oh, timing. On the edge of the smoke. Hello. Greetings,
wow.
Harmful. Rustin gives you a nasty surprise. Take that golden gun away from you and turn it against them as Redux as well. Hops paying. This is a force buy from Oxygen Academy. Keep this in mind. He invested into this round, and oh, it might just pay off. ZK is in a lot of trouble. Just Venture, the Odin. But now suppressed, no darts, no wall bangs, and probably no round.
The biggest issue for TSM Academy is the fact that they invested the operator for
Calling my bot.
Harmful. It's fallen by now.
Here.
There's potential for wall bangs there on Inferno. It actually does land a couple. They're still trying to maybe get some damage on the way out, but boy, the only one dealing out damage is Redux. He is fiending at the moment. First the collateral and then this round to his name. Oxygen Academy. They hit headshots, and headshots. You can win rounds by elimination, but they'll win this one by spiked explosion. 50 round. Picked up for Oxygen A.
Yeah, they just went with light armors and sheriffs, and then just the glass cannon Vandal pickup for Redux. 2 picks all you need, gets those upgrades, and you go off to the races with player's advantage. Harmful, the other operator, I believe he might have sold the operator and got a Vandal instead last round, but I could be wrong. Either way.
No, I think genuinely he had he had the savings up. I think he had 4,500. If I remember correctly. Sitting in that corner.
Right on.
I actually was looking for that, so.
Either way, I have the operator now.
I'm so observant.
Woo!
All right, Haunt in, Harmful op, looking to peek. Bye-bye. Opening kill, TSMA.
Full fall off in response from Oxygen Academy because they lost their entry duelist. So now they have to go a little bit slow and steady and try work rotations, but that's exactly what TSM Academy is accounting for. Harmful back into the form that we kind of assumed that he would continue from the last series. Had a little bit of a slow start on Icebox, but right back in it.
Nerfed. I'm not sure if he's in a good or bad position, all things considered. Now he might be in a good position as he can hit the perfect timing to cut all the rotations. Nerf is about to hurt. Or not. Payan's just going to shut him down. And now Venture, Odin, backside, and even Harmful pushing the smoke. Venture does get entried on, but Harmful running him amok right now for TSMA 4-1.
Yeah, Payan and Rebo were just checking the gateway, so Nerf had to deal with a 2v1 situation, but even then Payan was the first one in and kept the train rolling for TSM Academy. Yeah, Harmful is back online, and TSM Academy is not being caught by surprise at all by Oxygen Academy. They definitely seem to have adapted to the aggressive playstyles that Soar threw their way. Seems like against Soar, it might have just been a case of the momentum being too heavy, even though they learned the lesson already to stop the train, but this time around the train's definitely going for TSM Academy. Oh, bad end of things for Venture, but no worries. Mid-control is being fought for so aggressively for Oxygen Academy.
Hello. Redux has found himself into mid-pizza. Harmful.
Slide under, Indiana Jones.
Things
Go.
are just, they're gonna have him open the door again. close the door, open the door. Testing the hinges, testing the mechanism there. On towards mid-market. Redux is unable to destroy that turret for reasons. Knifed out. Venture is so low here. Even playing a dangerous game going for that. He's gonna destroy the alarm bot and run right into Revo and hit the headshot with the knives. No updrafts available for Redux, but oh man, he's still looking for kills. Floating. Trying to find his headshot, but Payan even beating the one-way. Finds his own onto Redux. 4-on-4.
Hunter Sphere available for Verno. There's multiple members set up on site. Nobody from TSM Academy is looking to play Gelato though. So Verno's going to be just vibing here. It's going to be a lot of time that they can burn just from that position alone.
Artful spotted. Hunter's
Probably
Fury
early.
tossed out. Popped really early, just hunting for kills at this rate. But the time being running so low, would it matter? Guardian firing off for Nerf. This could get interesting, but Verdi alone on the site is definitely putting up the hold that he needs. And ZK will get his one. Get finished off by Nerf. And Oxygen A will get their second round.
It's very interesting.
Did that TP survive? Let allow him to survive?
I think it would have made it regardless. But yeah, the Hunter Sphere being popped early is interesting. It's definitely, I like it because if you just sit there, then like what are you doing to help your team, right? You're just standing around. That's what we see soldiers do all the time. So I'm just going to hang out here until my team, I guess I'm playing for them to die and then I have to pop it later on, I guess. But what Verno did instead is he popped it early, after confirming that TSM Academy is all coming from Tree and Heaven. Pop it early, use it as like a wall of just laser beam death that TSM Academy couldn't push through for a while. And after those shots were gone, then he ran up. So that still did the time burning element that is used for, but did it first before his allies died. So he was able to push right up, drop a recon bolt, provide some covering fire, and actually assist the team sooner. I like it.
I like, yeah, sometimes just leaving your teams in the dust, not necessarily the most optimal way to play things. You know, and also, you know, it keeps the economy good. All things considered.
Yeah.
For the side of Oxygen A, you know, keep more players alive. Don't play for your teammates to die. Get that up and running. Timeout called in from TSM. Trying to solve things very early on. They're on a bit of a messy buy, all things considered. I mean, I see a frenzy purchased up for Payan, and only so much remaining, but seems like they are going to double down and force on this one. See if there's anything particular you're going to work with here for TSMA. Adaptation. Now for Harmful, a different look. Prowler goes through, but oh, command in. Harmful cannot dash away. How has he survived? I don't know. But then the mid split comes through. Redux and Verdi were waiting for that the entire time. Now TSMA locked out of the site and making an already ambitious gamble with the force buy. I don't think this one's even remotely attemptable.
I wouldn't say so. This is definitely a save angle. Or at least go for extra frags angle.
I mean, maybe. You don't even have ult points to gain if you're Venture.
Right here.
Right.
Wanted to move back away. I mean, ZK. Ult online for him as well, so. You know, I will happily count. No, not count my chickens before they hatch. I'm trying to.
This is interesting.
Stay
TSM
safe.
Academy just took their time out. And I like their positioning overall, but they did not seem to account in context for the no command.
Perhaps. Yeah, and you just have Harmful just getting ran over. Looks
Yeah,
a little
and
silly towards the end of it. And then,
Mid was left weak as well, so.
Yeah, they committed a
in-game
lot
just
to
swung
the
through.
committed a lot to the extremities. I think they had 2 players garden, full KJ setup, but nothing left for Pizza. They just kind of blasted past mid, kind of no resistance, and so TSMA kind of. Well, where can you fix that? Maybe you just, if you continually leave mid open, maybe you commit to a different part of the map. See what the game plan is for this.
I think you just have to respect the no command. Rush potential. Oh, harmful.
Okay. Mid control, you know, we gave it up last round. How about we fight for it directly?
I like it.
That works. That's a pretty good plan. 4-on-4 though, still. Powerful with Phantom in hand. Got this dropped over, I believe. Actually entrusted him with the rifle.
Oh boy, Auction Academy is looking to go and attack onto a site where all of that Killjoy utility is located.
Why do I think he's about to get hit by the 0 point if he throws it into the wall? All that KJ utility is going to go bye-bye if he throws the knife. But the knife does not hit the Killjoy, and there you go. Swarm grenades in, buying so much time for the rotations. But still, they should be able to cross, but also a lockdown tossed in. They're gonna plant the spike anyways, but they lose Rustin. That was their ultimate. They were looking to potentially use a lockdown of their own, but now this round is so messy for Oxygen Academy. Everything now goes out the window. Defuse coming all the way through. No attempt even bothered on this as a thrifty comes through for TSMA.
I love that ultimate as well, realizing the push back into a main. Because the members of Auction Academy have no audio, so they don't know if it's being stuck. They don't know if it's even been started on the defuse. And at that, they don't know if they're being pushed through and being down players. If you swing that early and there's more than one person on that corner, you just die. Pretty much, like 9 times out of 10. So even though Nerf went for that from the shadows teleport into the defending spawn, it just was too long of a duration of time to use ultimate and then rotate through. So it might have seemed like a little bit overkill at first, but it was a great call to use that Nightfall.
Okay, well, now they weren't able to use their lockdown last time because Rustin went down early. But now they certainly will, but ZK still gets 2 on the exit. And so, oh no, the turret! Oh my gosh, the turret! 1 HP for Redux! Actual milliseconds away from going down. He survives, but a flurry of Odin spam coming his way. He will still somehow be standing. If he gets another kill, it will be a miracle, and he does, catching a harmful scoped in. And now even the lurkin for Nerf, but he's vulnerable. He goes down easy. Verno still looking for the fight onto Revo. He'll get it. And now he gets a second, turning this round back on its head. Verno and Redux, and Verno was also on 1 point of health. We'll find the headshot. Nice edge we're playing with as Oxygen Academy bringing this game back.
Oh my goodness. How are they both alive with just 1 HP getting kills? Ah, man. If Harmful knew, he would have just swung that with a classic, like 10 times out of 10. There's no way he'd be in his up. That's
Imagine the tragedy if Redux went down to the turret.
Yeah, that round would be completely different.
They fire in
Harmful's still
bursts of
alive?
3, by the way, and he only got shot by the first bullet in the burst. Like, he was genuinely milliseconds away from going down.
Yeah.
And now TSMA on the eco. Like, talk about how impactful that round is.
Yeah, they've been sitting on this Cosmic Divide for a very long time. I think it has value on eco round, but I don't know if it has enough value to really pull it off right now when you have only 3 more rounds in this half. So, likely going to hold on to that for now, unless they get like a kill or 2 and they can upgrade some weapons or something of that sort. The rotation over from Auction Academy, I really like that call as well. They saw some presence from the Killjoy at the very least over towards A main. So let's just not play where their known Sentinel is located already. Let's go the other way. I like it.
Even though the Sentinel doesn't really have much utility to work with. Pan, oh dear. That does not quite help the war effort. That's a nice seize. Okay, finding Redux and trying to convert it to a second, but maybe stalled out enough time for a reasonable rotate to come by. They will take the site uncontested, however, and, well, even if they did get a rotate in, I'm not sure how powerful that one is.
I think they just pinged the Cosmic Divide for the back of sight, going all along.
I'm not sure you go for this. You have to see what Harmful gets.
Yeah.
Oh no. Null command kind of removes that possibility.
The party pooper.
God,
Birdie.
And then just leaping around the corner. Harmful doesn't have much to do in this one, and yeah, that kind of went about as expected. ZK, extra damage, hopefully. Absolutely eats that flash drive. That's an image. 5 to 5.
I could see it's like hype moment where maybe they get the eco round win happen. They get the first kill from Harmful. The Cosmic
Let's
Fight
go.
gets dropped. They get close range. Like, nope.
Nah.
Here's a null command and nothing's happening. We're just going to go ahead and close out this anti-eco. Going to play will be our advantage. Hunter's Fury is available for Verno. We definitely use that very well beforehand and can be used well effectively to counter a Cosmic Divide to an extent as well. Get some information on the other side of the wall.
Uh-oh. All right, we're getting a fast play. Look at this. Going all out, but ZK recovers his vision. Lots of pings coming in. Harmful, though, still survives. Cosmic Divide committed, though, as 2 kills do come through for the attack. And ZK desperately looking for another. But Verdi will be able to cross safely. A very, very bold call from Oxygen A. But still, Venture found a wallbang onto Verdi. Roll it back, 3v3, and extra damage lasered onto Nerf. The wallbang's near perfect there from Rebo. Still making this round interesting. Oh my. This is a ballsy call from Verno. He just gets taken out immediately as the wall goes down. Now Nerfed and Rustin running through, but he's been tagged up. There's no way he survives. Rustin in a clutch, but it's an Odin. Many bullets, many players, but not enough to pull it across the line. TSMA back in the lead.
ZK has been on fire for TSM Academy. It's been a little bit low-key, but 4K pop-off moment right there for the team. Earlier on entry, Oxygen Academy came onto a site for an early round. Got like this massive double kill when the entirety of Oxygen Academy is swarming in his face, completely suppressed, and just being spammed with utility. Still found a way of getting a double kill before falling. Got some eco damage earlier on. Like just a player who won't have these crazy high flashy moments naturally because you're playing Astra, but still has been performing really well.
DK with all the impact, looking to carry that over into this one. He's going to be tested again. Knife in. DK tagged up by that, but Harmful isn't. Dash popped, but not gaming anymore. Redux. Was that through the smoke? I don't think it was.
Saw him.
It's still a fantastic headshot.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow peak from Harmful, just assuming that nobody's going to push through the one way, but they all already did, so just a misread on the timing from Harmful overall.
Towards Cat. Repositioning. Oh, Redux again holding on. This time around, the wide swing is too good. But the... Oh my gosh, 2 kills to come in. Venture also collapsing in with the... Those are just straight wallbangs. There's not even pings. 2 kills coming from the Odin, and Rebo collapses. Nerfed in.
No idea what Nerfed is.
They
Not
might try to... They might think he's coming in from A. They're going to consider market first. No way. They're considering spawn. Rebo's watching for it.
Wow.
Filthy from Rebo to give TSMA the lead at halftime, 7-5. They are for sure invigorated. Inspiring performances from ZK so far on the defense. But attack side, is that going to be a different story? A halftime break can only tell us. 7-5 the half. TSMA, much more inspiring performance on Ascent compared to what we saw earlier today, and generally speaking across the series. So, will they be able to take this one to a third versus Oxygen A, or can their defense overpower TSMA? Well, only time will tell, Chad. Starting off this pistol round, I see a pretty unique grouping of TSMA players.
Yeah, they definitely had a lot more success on B site than A when they attacked on Ascent versus Sword.
This is something. Hello. Harmful is just going to run down too, and the round's over. You know,
Likely.
I'm not. I know we never want to say absolutes as casters, but to put it very bluntly here in this 2v5, it's difficult. But Nerfed will get one back. The C's doesn't actually, well, it does find one out. Oh, those shot guards are gonna hurt. And Nerfed, yeah, he does get ran down.
Yep.
Yeah, well, TSMA, it's a 3-man B push to start the round, and yeah,
Unlucky
at least
Redex
for Oxygen A.
Looking at the wall when he died, but that's because he was predicting a flash to just pre-swing kind of situation. Definitely an unlucky read by Oxygen Academy overall for what TSM could do, especially since TSM largely, if the prediction is true that Oxygen Academy did the MAC pick bans based on how TSM Academy played in the semifinals, if that is the case, TSM definitely was very slow largely on their attack, and when they were aggressive, it wasn't very successful. So makes sense that Oxygen Academy wouldn't predict them to go so aggressive.
Don't feed the beast. Harmful. Feels like he's been wielding the golden gun all game. Another flash drive, underhanded. Harmful, of course, good for it. 3-5, probe out mid.
Yeah, great start for TSM Academy so far.
Out of charges.
For the half, for this round. Weapons looking good.
Out of
Oxygen
charges.
just might have sent it a little bit on pistol round because it's eco second round of the half. We'll look at see what they adapt to moving forward. At least for now, it's gonna be a rotation from TSM Academy. Still respecting that there are two members of Oxygen Academy
Nerf.
on B side that could have like a short or something like that around corners.
Smoke's about to fade. Ah, he runs through right into 2 players. Surprise!
Bad timing.
That was unlucky, really.
Pulling them in.
Steal. 3v5, Oxygen A. Seems to get mopped up. And so the biggest thing, at least in my opinion, entry
30
prowess
seconds
from
left.
Harmful come this
Spike
next
planted.
gun round. Win this next round for TSMA, and map 3 is very much likely.
Yeah.
At least percentage-wise.
Last player
This is the pivot point of the game coming up.
And Harmful bought big for that Vandal as well, so really good for TSM Academy that they found success in this bonus, keeping that alive and in their hands going to the next round where they're going to need that kind of firepower to deal with what Oxygen Academy is going to be able to bring to them, especially now Oxygen's aware of the aggressive capabilities of TSM Academy for sure, especially with Harmful being on top of his game right now. Saw them pop off and start coming to life at the end of, or really in the entirety of this map versus the first. It just keeps on going.
All right. And we're talking the pivot point of the game. TSMA, their bonus, bunch of Spectres, and Harmful on a Vandal. Could be considered an operator in certain contexts. And for the side of Oxygen Academy, they get their buy going. A bit of half armor, admittedly. Not that it always makes the biggest of differences, but it is something to mention.
Placing swamp grenade.
So, basically, decides if we play on or TSMA are speeding off to a quick victory here on Ascent. Redux is going to take matters into his own hands.
Here.
I'm not sure if that was an updraft or something from Harmful, but he's just found 2, trying to make it 3. But now Verno basically left to hold on as Verdi has fallen, and now TSMA
Recalling my
look to take over the map of Ascent. Rustin 1v4. Here's all the players now he's been spotted. ZK knows. Even Rebo. Flanked in, and oh, the C's
Oh, I like
dragging him into the swarm grenade.
That's so good.
Almost
The
perfect.
wombo combo.
And now walking in a Rebo. It felt like that wasn't even around.
Perhaps Oxygen Academy just kind of looked at map results They obviously were playing their semifinal match at the same time as TSM Academy and ended later. So like they're not gonna have this, like, unless they have an insane support staff of analysts who can watch another game while their current game's going on. They wouldn't have seen, therefore, that TSM Academy on their attacking side against Soar, when Soar was really aggressive on defense, most of the time TSM Academy found a lot of success. There was that one time off the explosion through mid that Soar found a lot of success, but most of the time TSM Academy held the ground, was ready for aggressive plays, and then slowly worked out map control, removing utility, and then it eventually exploded on execution for sites, especially when they had Fade on the roster. So actually Academy going very reckless and loose on their aggression for the defensive side, and it just has not worked out for them, even kind of.
Yeah, but I mean, they did have a smoke towards top middle in that round when Redux just ran up Cat. I'm not sure if that was just spam from the likes of Harmful, or maybe he got a glimpse of him before the smoke bloomed. But either way, that was just a non-round from Oxygen A. I wouldn't call it even a mistake, just a fortunate timing for the man who is been top in the charts for TSMA, Harmful.
Placing alarm bot.
Keep in mind, the last map of Bind that he played against Soar,
Placing swarm grenade.
450 ACS. He's already had a absolute monster performance. And starting off, Redux is already dashed himself into tiles and going for the all-out aggression in towards the left side of the map. Oh, it doesn't quite pan out, but still, Rustin, headshot found from the Sheriff, and Verno also as well. 2v2, and Rustin hears the footsteps. It still could be so massive for the Prowler. Going to spawn him out. Turret does activate. He's gonna need something quick. The swarm grenades, though, while he's vulnerable, could be huge. But he wasn't quite hit by the alarm bot, so not the maximum amount of damage dealt. Pan still chunked down. But as Verno activating on the flank is being watched right now from Payan. And the Spectre's gonna best him. Rustin, 1v2, spotted out by the Dark. He's armorless. Not lots to work with. Lots of utility being tossed his direction. He's just gonna get wall banged out by Venture in the end. A good attempt there from Oxygen A, but TSM stabilized the 2v2.
Very nice timing by Venture there. Good on Payton as well, keeping that Sixth Sense available for watching the backside of things. Actually, Academy just keeps going aggressive on defense. Like, I know that was their econ, so their eco, I mean, so sure, go for it. Now that Operator's in hand for Redux, though, Glass Cannon status, I think Oxygen Academy now is going to start being a little bit more patient and pose.
You say that. But Redux is going for a B main.
Well, yeah, I think that's still considered.
Yeah, it's still reasonable. Is he
More
gonna go
so
all
than
the
pushing
way?
out mid.
Yeah, then dashing into tiles every round. Yeah, I'd probably agree. Now, Rustin's KJ is speaking a litany of words. Grenade out. Turret down. Turret up. I don't know. Up towards middle
Very
right
vocal
now.
agent.
Very vocal agent. Talks a lot. Probably could be a caster. We talk a lot.
Could.
Up cat. At least that's the grouping right now.
There.
And with a lineup for everything, it seems. They're actually gonna go contact here.
Placing swarm grenade.
Swarm grenade. He's going into garden and now trying to isolate Verdi. Underhand flash. Surprise. A second one thrown in too. So many players blind. Verdi does have to commit only for the 1-for-1 though. And Rustin just gets running gun through the smoke.
30 seconds
And
left.
ZK finds a kill on a nerfed. I don't know what to say about that as Redux just gets ran down, and I think this map is finished here, Chad.
All things considered, it was a really good spot for TSM Academy because they had the Astra to drop a Nebula for Tree, or not for Tree, for Garden. To be able to use the Fade utility to swarm out and find anybody who's sneaking around corners, things of that sort. Trying to save his operator, which definitely would be beneficial. I don't know if that's going to be enough of a difference maker for them to have a chance in this game.
This is going to be a tough save. Alberto? Is he seriously going to try and be up for this? He's going to tuck away towards back bonus. It's like they're executing onto the site. There's no spike to plant. In fact, it's already gone. 12-5. TSMA. 7 opportunities to close out their opponent's map pick, who thought this was a punish pick, but quickly got a quite a rude reminder.
Placing sentry.
Dude, this has been a wild couple series where like one team looks out of source and then they just come back completely stronger. Like the ability for these players to be able to reset, adapt, and come out stronger than the following map is so impressive to see. Such a treat.
Where are you?
Constantly looking to adapt and improve moving forward. The maps, though, with how momentum based they are, it's really hard to come back mid map. With economy fighting through that. Compositional differences at times.
Yeah. That's a good work around TSMA. Gonna try and end it here with a B play. One grenade into at least the logs corner to clear that position out. Rustin's actually going to push behind the smoke. I like this because there's no flash that could possibly knock him off. In fact, he's going to walk back into logs, which was just cleared a moment ago, but the hunt. Are they going to... Oh, and they're going to force him out of the corner. Wow. Rustin, though, still survives. And even then, well, they try to dance around it. Does Nerf. But now a Hunter's Fury thrown right on back. It doesn't connect for Verno. Redux dash activated in the corner. 1 kill, 2 kills though. They're not ready for him.
30 seconds left.
And he'll back away. But Harmful just walk through the B site and
Back again.
welcome back, folks, to the B site.
Harmful, meanwhile, got some picks. So literally 3 kills for TSM Academy on rotation. So overall, just great macro play despite Redux popping off and with the perfect timing. But Verno makes this a doable situation for Oxygen Academy.
All right. I need to wait for that recon dart to come up. Both shock darts being expended into logs, but now ZK, maybe you wish I had the shock darts for him. Still though, oh my gosh, absolute aggression from Redux, but not ready for Venture. Speaking from the back of Boathouse, and Verno looking to isolate one, but you know, surely that there's a star ready for that spike. Verno is going to be hunting back for the kill, but ZK is going to beat him. 13-5, mirror score lines on their opponent's map picks. Both teams dominate.
Very much so. And honestly, it was so close on the first half. The problem for Oxygen Academy largely was on the defensive side of things. You just had a bad read for the playstyle of TSM Academy. TSM Academy's ability to be patient and watch for aggressive defensive teams. And when Oxygen Academy tried that for multiple rounds, it did not work out at all. When Oxygen Academy finally made the change to respect it and went default, TSM Academy had time to work with and definitely worked the map themselves how they wanted to. They pushed, pulled, and made Oxygen Academy keep rotating and trying to follow up TSM Academy's game plan, but they're always a step behind.
Yeah, I mean, TSM Academy were just, I think, too fast. I mean, Harmful dominating the opening duels for sure. And so, well, going it now into map number 3. We're taking this one away on the map pick of Split. TSMA sort of shuffling up their momentum here, at least when it comes to Split. It wasn't a great performance earlier on in this event from them come day 1. So they're looking to turn things around. And the decider against Oxygen Academy, they've already brought it here. Why not take it home? But first things first, we're going to have to toss it to a break. And then we'll see the conclusion of this grand final. See you then. finally reached it. Of course, a grand final has to have a decider, and TSM, FTX Academy, have certainly given us one right here, Chad, as they have turned up and absolutely dominated on their opponent's map pick, because picking your own map just means you're going to lose it.
Yeah, and definitely momentum their side. But what we've seen so far today is in these series, if it goes to game 3, then it's like back and forth. It was TSM winning first map against Soar. Soar dominated map 2, and then TSM dominated map 3. Going into this one, Auction dominated map 1. TSM dominated map 2. Does that mean Auction comes back and wins it in overtime if the pattern serves true? Who knows?
Well, I mean, the map is split at the end of the day, and we know this is one of the maps that TSM have been experimenting with Fade on. We saw at least the Fade usage on towards Ascent. I'm not going to go out there on a limb and say it was incredibly impactful like it was, I think, in the Haven early we had today. Going into Split, I mean, generally speaking, we kind of theorized a little bit about it, but do you think it can work against a team like Oxygen Academy?
I don't think so. I really don't. I think that Fade has performed worse overall statistically. Still a new agent, so there could be some new things working out that you can figure out. But at least from what we've seen so far, I think she performs worse on Split than Ascent, and TSM clearly can make it happen on Ascent, but because it performs worse on Split, and TSM had a really rough go with it yesterday, I'd be a little surprised if they stick to it. We saw Soar go away from it before, but who knows? They could just do basically what we just saw them, of having a poor performance with her on Ascent, and literally the next series stuck with her and then had a great performance with her. So it's tough to say.
Yeah. I know, so new. I mean, there's always some cheesy tech that we've seen as well from the C's and towards B main. I think that's made the rounds on Twitter already. So I haven't had the opportunity to see that in a pro game. If that ever gets broken out, the bounce house, yeah. You know, the puppet strings is
yeah, bungee cords.
Yeah, bungee cords, bungee jumping. Sometimes it could possibly happen. But there's I guess little tech on the map that could get some free kills, I suppose. It is, I think, decently accustomed to at least an attack side to be able to force out a lot of defender side positions, trying to work in when you're committing for the split, say in B Heaven. The Prowlers, I think, are pretty darn useful. But all things considered, we have yet to kind of get the proof to say that, yeah, the Fade is definitely here for the meta, here to stay. And for the side of Oxygen, I think this is, generally speaking, a much more stock standard map. They haven't been out there experimenting with Fade.
Actually, interesting finding out if that placement is illegal or not into Garage.
That actually is interesting to think about.
That's one of those kinds of things that I feel like would be made illegal, as potentially, because you're kind of just left to die out there completely exposed if you get caught by that, but it's also kind of hard to set it up, so who knows. It's not a thing like a Cypher can, they just leave there the whole round or something. But going into Agent Select, Venture's hovering. It wasn't Pay-In, because Pay-In would be a lot more, definitely has looked a lot more comfortable individually on Raze as far as frag performance, especially. Not that Fade is even supposed to be a fragging agent or anything, but I do like the idea of putting Venture over to Evade instead.
Yeah, I think, well, Hoso kind of had to take up another initiator role. Why not take the Fade? You know, we were talking earlier how I do kind of like the Sky over the Fade on this map. In particular, I think the Sky just offers more instant rewards compared to Fade at times.
Yeah.
But going for a double controller here. Set up for TSM. It is their standard, but you know, this is far from the meta, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and this is what they did on Split as well yesterday, is having Venture on Fade and paying over to the Raze. Harmful, we already know, is good on the Chamber. We already know Chamber's great on Split for sure. Verno's going over there as well. Redux on the Raze, and when I first saw Redux play competitively, he was on the Raze almost all the time, and it was oftentimes seen on Split, and this guy can definitely perform at that agent well. I do like nerfed on the Omen as well. I think that's a fantastic solo controller for Split. You can have consistent smokes throughout the entire round, so you can use them for baits, you can use them for map control and anchoring options as well with from the shadows. It's just overall a great agent to work with.
Oxygen have formerly had great success on this map as well. They've recently taken out NYFU dominantly on this map, 13-8. This is definitely some good territory for Oxygen, and this is honestly, this is more or less bread and butter for them compared to TSM, who are out there experimenting and have had some oddball losses here and there on this map. They lost to Unknown in the group stage, 13-5, and actually put them into the deciding match. So they actually went out of the group as a second seed, believe it or not, because their split wasn't all up to snuff. They've had a day to think about it, that's for sure, but breaking out against Oxygen Academy, who are such a solid split team, this could be Oxygen Academy, at least hypothetically, getting their second event win in a row if they take this right here.
That would be huge.
Dude, what an upswing from these guys, potentially. As we head off to the
Yeah.
pistol. A team that was struggling a lot earlier on in this season. He's playing against some of the upper echelons of North American Valorant, getting upset by a couple of organizational squads, and now turning that into 2 event wins, maybe. But that is a nasty start from Harmful.
Indeed, it was. Fantastic opportunity for TSM, because this is forcing Oxygen to do a rotation over to A site, which is already locked down with 2 members. Harmful already here again, but doesn't expect him close range. Verno takes advantage of it. Zika able to at least get a trade out and rotate away. The gravity well will give them advantage on this, but the rush will make it rough for them, but he does manage to get another trade before falling again. What a moment for ZK.
Vulnerability so huge in that one. Now Redux gonna plant in the back corner. Rustin making his way up from heaven. The turret does fire off into screens. That lets Redux know. Rustin, though, making the move into heaven. It's not quite planted for him, but it could be the huge off angle that they need. The nade, it segments off the players. He might have an isolated 1v1 surprise venture running through Redux Jets 2. Now Rustin there to clean up, and Oxygen A find themselves a pistol.
Despite ZK's best efforts, which he's been doing such a good job even back on last map, which is why I want to highlight him then. I want to highlight him now, just the ability to be able to get 1 or 2 kills before falling when getting pressured onto a site is immaculate and very pivotal and important for TSM's Academy's defensive side. But Oxygen Academy came with the aggression. Redux, the one popping off the player that we've seen do it many times and continues to do exactly that. Harmful. Placing a totem up there would be interesting for sure.
We'll see. Oh, Harmful is up to 4-man mid setup. They're gonna collapse, run through a couple smokes. They don't quite have a flash either for TSMA, and they also don't have Harmful. That's gonna hurt. And they're gonna glide back to B main. Nab that orb. No one even heard this presence. No one even knows here for TSMA that they're about to just stroll onto this B site. So Rustin will entry as the Killjoy. Never mind. As Redux flying right past him. Redux will make his way onto the site, as will the rest of Oxygen Academy. They'll set down the spike, and this round has got a whole lot harder. Nice fade. I think that's all I can really say about this round now.
It's actually an opportunity to do some eco damage for
standing.
TSM Academy.
That's a nice shot from Rustin.
Yeah, beautiful shot.
ZK, give us one more and we'll call it a day. I'm waiting. Give it a moment. Nerf is going to give him the challenge, and there you go. You can now call it a day. You can go ahead and sacrifice yourself to the spike, or you can pick up the Bulldog and go for some extra damage.
Honestly?
Is he going to save this?
Save that. I think it's worth saving. That's a valuable enough. Like, I think we'd rather a rifle, so dropping that is better overall. But that's valuable enough that like it wouldn't be bad to save, and at least look for other kills while he looked towards stairs for sure. But the more important thing is I think that was a really valuable weapon for Nerf to not lose, and considering the fact that ZK probably just died of the spike anyway, I think it would have been a better call for Nerf to not go hunting there.
Yeah, and actually damages the economy significantly for the side of Oxygen. You have Nerf down, is actually just going to half buy this one straight up. And Verno is going to be down to 150.
Ooh, this might be a fast A heaven take.
Okay, here we go. Double satchel, one satchel, two satchel, and there's the fault line too. And Redux is already halfway across the map in the span of 3 seconds. Though Heartful trying to deny, but Verno gets the swing in. Redux does find success in heaven too, but Rebo trades. 3v4s. ZK also dangerously low. I don't know how that happened, but definitely Rustin.
Spike planted.
A little bit of nastiness on the lurk. Rebo pushing down the ramp. Rustin surely could have this covered. Needs to clear the close corner for Verno, and will be able to, but the trade is in from Rustin, but a 2-for-1 as Pan also got his teammates back. 2-on-2. Down into heaven, Nerf plays. Pan seems aware of the possibility. Could be the hard check. Nerf only down to a Sheriff, and he'll get the headshot. Now just leaving Verdi. Great flash through, but it doesn't blind ZK. And the frag is in for TSMA. They'll pick up the gun round.
Bulldog burst spray might have been enough there, but that's nitpicking at this point. Oxygen Academy still doing a great job on their bonus round overall. Got the spike planted, got 3 kills. They'll be able to fully buy up here regardless, and they still have the lead. So things are looking up and up for them. Verno also being able to use it toward a force going to the next round on top of it all. So they are definitely in a good spot. Looks like Verno's going to go for a little bit of an anchor play, perhaps towards A main, or just look to get off angle for mid. That toxic screen, though, definitely would ruin that desirable of a player. But we'll see how much Rebo can do here in mid.
That's a good spot. Teleport's ready. You want to play?
At
Let's
least a
play.
mid wall to try and cut across. Allows for decent mid control, but I'm not sure how much Oxygen are going to respect that. Or dropped in towards the bottom, but you can see that. I don't really mind that too much. Oh, and up. Hey, a dangerous game. But
Wow,
gets
he's
the
not
orb.
alive.
I mean, was that worth it to get the showstopper? You tell me.
We shall see. Some showstoppers are massive for the round. Some of them do basically nothing. So it's yet to be determined on that front. Definitely very weak. They have no healing abilities on either team. So all damage is sticking. This is really interesting considering we usually see a Sky and or Sage on split. Neither team has either of them.
Gonna group back up to A main. No Sky, no info, but how about the
No
fade?
charges.
Has the haunt ready.
There.
Gets a spot in. That's a tour de force. I think he recognizes that pretty darn quickly. Now Rita gonna make the move, but Rebo, the off angle. Surely he gets traded. But the teleport anchor dropped, and Rebo's gonna get 2.
30 seconds
Verdi
left.
will trade, but still, Verdi gets the double. Maybe he can turn this on its head. Look at the players. They're all reconvening back into heaven. ZK, the timing could not be worse. But Verdi on the site, still good for it. And all the frags come in for Oxygen. 3-1.
Those Oxygen Academy members were there in A heaven in a way that was so silent and quick that I have to imagine ZK saw the body but didn't respond instantly because his initial like reaction was, oh, it's an ally there. Okay, looking away. Wait a minute, and then tried turning back in time, but it just was too late. I've been there before. It seems to be what happened there. And TSM Academy fall, go back into another save round. I don't know if Rebo will commit the Viper's Pits in mid here. A little bit of an outdated strat, especially on an eco round. Cool thing about this game, though, is sometimes outdated strats work because people aren't used to it anymore.
Calling my
Yeah.
bot.
Just bring it back.
Yeah.
Run back the Phoenix. Come on. Bring him in. No one's going to expect it, guys. Trust me. Working out
Yeah, it's a
middle right
save round,
now.
though. There's no way.
Grenade.
Bring back Phoenix. You deny.
On Haven, sure.
That was the only... I remember there is a cursed team comp out there, a version 1 playing Phoenix on Icebox at Masters 1 last year.
Oh, that far back?
Yeah.
Even currently, Crew plays Phoenix on Haven. From my name.
That is fiending. Harmful. Almost. Don't crouch and you might have the headshot. How about this, though, for Redux? Pan is not long for this world, unfortunately. Some things are just not meant to be. And, oh, getting whittled down from various different angles. Redux has got to be careful, but as his teammates back him up, Nerfed and Rustin will clean up. Gear it up to be 4-1. Just a moment. Enter C. I mean, damage could be good if you clean up Redux and Fine. Oh, no, headshot. Nicely found. Onto Verno. Anything extra is fantastic. Maybe get the ultimate a bit closer here for Venture.
Last player
That's the
standing.
hope. Venture, 2 ult orbs away. 1 kill would do it. There you go. Now you can go rest in peace. If you are here taking for the swing. Okay. He'll get the ultimate that way. Who needs to go down? You'll get the kills. Extra damage dealt there by TSMA. Not that bad. All things considered.
Yeah, honestly, good eco for TSM Academy at the very end there. They're taking the timeout now because they have a full buy up. They can use Cosmic Device. They can determine how do they want to use that. Where do we put the Viper's Pit? Things of that sort. Honestly, Oxygen Academy has been giving away a lot of free kills. Not obviously free because they're clearly trying to get the kills and they're hunting to try to get their own advantages from that as well. But I feel like right there, the spike was going down so low, the last player had just a sheriff. They could have probably played safer and keep the weaponry moving forward. Luckily for them, they're so successful otherwise, so that's such an insignificant thing so far. It's just a kind of like little thing that might be a factor later on, that their economy is not as healthy as it could be kind of thing. We'll see if on the other end of this timeout from TSM, they can have this Academy squad make a comeback happen and break the bank of the Oxygen Academy 1 round sooner, essentially, because of all the things that happened in the past.
And so 4-1. Oxygen Academy on having a great advantage early on. They're starting their own little miniature era, believe it or not. You know, of all the accrues that we've had. Honestly, TSMA have definitely had their moment in terms of the
Yeah, it was the time that
area.
a lot of people thought they actually were legitimately stronger than the main team.
I think there genuinely
impressive.
was a time where they were stronger than the main
Yeah,
team.
I would agree with them. There was a couple times that would be the case. We never saw them have that matchup in the Civil War until after TSM made the revamps and actually came back really strong and looked really good now.
Now, well, let's see if TSMA. This looks like a map off of them. Let's see if they can rekindle some of that flame. Perhaps, but you have the Nightfall. It didn't actually tag a crazy amount of players, only about 2. Murph does have a trail that follows him in towards ropes. All in all, nothing really capitalized off the back of it. All they need to do is just burn time. They got a minute on the clock.
You should run.
Lockdown
Yeah,
even
literally
going
burned the
through.
ult just to get the Heaven control again, but then go. That can be taken right back with Paranoia, Paint Shells, or a kill.
Venture down. ZK forced off the site. Harmful. Maybe looking for a pot shot, but they're going to get full control of this. Redux position is very well known. And a shot there from Harmful, just running it through Be Heaven, but no way. You're going to expect Redux going for the re-aggression. And the round falls in favor for Oxygen. As that's another gun round down the drain for TSMA. They're getting close to running away with this game, and we can talk about all the copium you want, but this is attack side split they're doing this on.
Yeah, that's the crazy part too. I mean, I guess the only thing is that Fade has been a little bit better on offense, but I'm still not sold on this agent pick. I guess because this map is so defensive favored still, so is a little bit of a stretch of a word even there as a modifier, but still a little defensive favored a lot of times is a better way of saying it. Fade pickup makes the offense a little bit easier. We'll see how the other half looks, but for now it's a little rough.
It's worthwhile just noting. Option A, quite good on this map.
Yes.
Bruno will prove that statement right. Catching the timing, getting on the angle before Harmful does. Man advantage.
A good opening pick there. Rolling Thunder is available for Oxygen Academy as well, which is just a fantastic site entry option, which looks to be going towards A. And this Omen positioning, they won't be using Paranoia for Heaven, so they might use the Rolling Thunder for site.
That's
Ooh.
that's tough. Dustin,
Terminated.
that is going to be a nice shot on the Venture. And that's going to be your spike plant. That's going to be your go. You know, Chad, I've been wondering, when are they just going to call themselves Oxygen?
Yeah, I think the
30
reason why they're
seconds
taking Studio Academy could be a legal thing for name purposes. Otherwise, it could be
Spike
just the fact that
planted.
Redux is too young to compete in VCT. So, Oxygen as an org might be still looking for a main team that can compete in VCT, perhaps in EU or something of that sort, while still keeping this Academy team because they
EU?
like Redux.
And what kind of...
EMEA, whatever. You know what I'm talking
That's
about.
not the point I'm trying to make here. You dare talk about EU during our patriotic North American broadcast. Come on. Come on now. Read the room. Jeff.
All right, man. all right.
6-1 for Oxygen Gaming. Let's get right past this point. Sorry, patriotism leaking on through.
A gift.
As well, 6-1. Gun round back in the hands for TSMA, but they need to find solutions. Right now, Oxygen A have just been straight up, just been so fluid across the map. They've been dodging out on TSM's plays, and well,
Oh
how
my
about you
God.
take the fight right to them as Redux double satchels in. And boy, does he come close to getting a double kill there.
Yeah, the damage trade across the two of them, that would have equated to 1 kill, but...
Uh-oh. And a Rolling Thunder. Nerf gets hit by his own teammate's Rolling Thunder. And he's also decayed down to 1 health. I don't
No.
even. No. Might work. But wait, what happened to the Viper Pit? Did you decide to cancel it? Either way. Well, in the perspective of Nerfed, he has not been having a fun round. But maybe this can still be playable with Rustin falling, the spike on the ground, and
Still somehow
flank-
full HP and
a
shield.
flank of harmful.
Last player standing.
Will knock out Verno. We have really gotten the perspective. This guy's just getting like battered by a tidal wave utility. Nerfed in the 1v4. Spike and a from the shadows available. This is going to be heard. Oh, Venture. Nerf. Nah, swings in the open. Venture heard it the entire time. It's gonna be a team ace rolling out for TSMA. If they want to get things going on the defender side, things need to start now.
All things being considered, that was a pretty close round from Nerf. If you got that first kill, it would have had time to plant the spike, find a 1v2 situation, but nevertheless, great job by Venture for being aware and ready. Good response by Rebo as well, overall.
Teleport's ready.
That was a very dicey round, through and through. Fell apart when Redux fell. Nerf got hit by the Rolling Thunder. Some
A lot of things
unfortunate
could've
turn of
changed.
events, but yeah, very close at the very end.
All right. Different look. Harmful, yielding an operator. Ending up going for a re-swing here into Rustin. Fantastic headshot to deny that. Rustin even looking for the extra. Pan's gonna pick up the operator or shuffle that one away, making sure that doesn't fall in enemy hands. But Oxygen Academy. Rustin in particular, big shot. Pan though. In the wide angle. And Rustin plays a dangerous game. Shot goes wide. And Oxygen still hold on to 5. Biden back to B here. Only a 2-man setup at the moment. Burt does go through and is going to expend 1 operator shot to take that out. And they're gearing up for the execute. The whole squad gathering util. You can take a screenshot right there. It's kind of cinematic. Now, well, double satchel's ready. Is there an ultimate too? There certainly is. Pan might be in a world of trouble. Well, it's Rebo instead to receive. But how about Pan? Throwing in the satchel, though, in between allows Verdi to get the kill. 2v3, nerfed. Also coming in from the mid lurk, too. And this trademark long destroyed. Off angle played. It's going to find DK. Almost converts on a Venture. Half HP for Venture. The haunt doesn't really matter too much now. As the Cosmic Divide, it does separate the spike. But this can be heard, and he needs to make a play through! Oh my gosh, it comes so close! But Verno flicks around. 7-2 lead right now for Oxygen.
I like the attempt there. That's so close for Venture. Nearly got the spray transfer. But Oxygen still with a commanding lead. Still looking amazing on the attack side of Split. To be fair, their composition is pretty good with it, with how Redux is so proficient. The ability to get setups from the Breach and the Omen as well. The defense should be looking good too, but can't get too far ahead of ourselves as we still have 3 more rounds to play with this side of things. Mid just like 1 star, maybe a trademark here and there. has been largely TSM's hold there, but players are there for sure, looking to try to take those challenges. It's interesting to see, considering a lot of teams these days completely abandon mid and just play to hold the exits.
Now they're considering the fight for it. At least once these smoke fades. Wondering what the rebound is going to be. There is an Astra Star that Redux is walking right past. Could be a little bit of a landmine. Coming soon. Oh, Gravity Well right now would be absolutely filthy. Right now, Harmful holding the off angle. Was about to get this one. And he's not going to get any of them. Huge double swing there. The walk up from Oxygen pays dividends. Adventure inclined to make a move. Define nerf.
Try again.
Good headshot. Gets the ultimate too. And that clears out all of A Heaven, making sure that no one is coming through. No trails created from that. And so Venture knows that they might be coming his way. This could be huge. The Prowler in, but Redux beats him to the punch. Even while nearsighted, it doesn't matter for this man. Satchel's into sight. Verdi on entry as well. Catches ZK, trying to be a hero. But sometimes, well, heroes aren't always made to be. 7-2, looking to be 8. As Payan and Rebo just left to probably attempt a retake. Hope for something. Payan one orb away from a showstopper. A kill could try to kick off this retake. Maybe. Onto's a player under hell, but a fantastically timed flashpoint. Still though, Rustin goes up in smoke. Looking for potentially an ultimate, but instead Verdi's gonna find the kill. Rebo, 1v2. Verdi, very low. Headshot found, but time. It's a big issue right now. And Redux, all he needs to do is dance around the screens. And I think he's just won this one single-handedly. There is no time here for Rebo. He's gonna have to flee the scene. 8 rounds hit for Oxygen. Wow.
We saw in that round the weakness of Fade when on the back foot. Just there's no way of mobility-wise getting out of that situation. The utility, it feels like it could be useful, but people just swing through it anyway. They shoot out the Prowler. Even if they're near your side, swing out the corner, still be able to take you out. Ultimate did not really amount to anything, and then yeah, it's just a little bit of a tough spot. There's no hard flashes. Without the hard flashes, it's hard to really stop people from just pushing you on corners like that.
You want to play? Let's play.
Viper's put over towards A main instead this time around.
Searching for solutions. And oh, that isn't one. Through the smoke itself, Payan knocked out. And TSMA just looking for a gamble stack, basically. Rustin's gonna push forward, push aggressively. Harmful and Venture right next to each other. Headshot not found. Rustin goes down, but still Harmful. Double kill. Knocked up by the Rolling Thunder. Does recover. Oh my gosh, Harmful with 3. Trying to bring it back. ZK still on the site, but gets spotted. Dinked up. Dropped. Oxygen A, avoid a disaster. TSMA miss out on a huge opportunity.
Wow. Harmful almost made that round winnable. That's insane. Very fantastic shots. Despite being stunned, pushed by 2 at a time. He landed that last shot. Might have been it, but there's a showstopper available for Payan. Tour de Force as well for Harmful. So even though they have a full buy up round, they also have plenty of artillery to work with. Looks like he might be challenging for mid as well. Still fighting for mid is TSM Academy.
Focused on trying to crunch in one part of the map, but now that they're not mid, gotta think, where are they?
Pulling them in.
Up ramp is the name of the game. Gravity Well tossed in. Verno.
Next bit passed. Past the Gravity Well.
Redux. There's always a double satchel available, and that just means chaos. It's coming soon. What is he gonna make of that star? A nebula? Gravity Well is on cooldown. Smoke will go up. That might just allow them to group in. Heavy rotations coming in as well, though. They have a huge flank right now for Payan. So as the rotations come in, Rebo is still in a little bit of a bind down here. The Aftershock will take him out. Could this stack still work out, though? Venture in towards elbow. Does take down Verdi. Rustin, a big trade to keep that Killjoy lockdown alive. And ZK trying to push in too, but Payin. The flank doesn't activate in time. Verno's watching. 10-2. Oxygen dominate. And they're looking to put their second tournament win in a row. But first things first, a halftime break to see if Oxygen Academy can start their own miniature era. Is quite the brutal scoreline to come back from. And so, well, Oxygen Academy on the brink of taking their second event in a row. And, you know, off the back of picking up the coach of Warbirds, this team has just looked quite a bit better. Now coming out swinging on this map of Ascent. They can close on the defensive side. I'm Fi, Chadlantis. Let's see how this one unfolds. It's TSMA. It's safe to say they need the pistol.
Yeah, they've always been just shy of reaching that grand prize. It seems like Warbirds, in addition, is in a little extra push they needed to get to that level. Yeah, we'll have to see if they actually close out, though. TSM Academy may come back from the 3 deficit earlier on, and they have Fade on the offense. But now, Payin falls early on to Verno. Things are not looking too hot.
Oh, there's a little Viper wall that could allow the cross, but still, the rotation so very much here. 4 players were in position, but they're actually going to double back. To mid, to sewers. The thing is that push has been heard, and right now, Nerf surely hears all these players sprinting through sewers and see the... No. Are they seriously going to go back to spawn? They aren't. They took a glance.
So I clear it.
They're not feeling it just yet, but the Prowlers somehow can float up in midair. Doesn't matter. Verno, I just found one at ultra long range on the Headhunter. They're going to cross back to ramp, but they're whittled down to only 3 remaining. To try and walk into spawn, though. Harmful needs the immediate entry onto Verdi, and Verdi is turned around at the worst possible time. Harmful has gotten what he's needed. They're in the spawn. That's what they know. But trying to walk it back to be Rustin. Can't deny it. A massive kill for Venture. It opens the entire map up.
Yeah, that's a breakaway for B-site for sure for TSM Academy. They have just a little bit of time worked with, but that's all they need. Plenty to work with. And they were going to plant it over towards for Garage. See what they set up from there. It would work for Harmful if he had bullets in the Headhunter, but he doesn't. So he's going to take an advantage position, make it a 2 versus 2.
Oh, okay. Still on the rafters, though, and still so low. A jumping classic would be his end. We're not going to go for it. But the footsteps made. Venture made footsteps, and then they get turned on. Inferno and Nerf to close it down. 11-2 now. The chance for TSMA might have gone out the window, and now we are just into relentless force buys up and coming for TSMA. Their future looks bleak.
Yeah, I feel like the best call is to force up here. And therefore, if they lose, they'd have to force up for the final potential round. Because if you win here, you still have breathing room in case you lose a round later on kind of situation, so you don't want to just let it go down to 12. There you go. Spade Man, I saw the lineup for B-side. You can see the potential in that.
I can see it too. I mean,
Right.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to have enough rounds to work with for it, though, because they had a disadvantage in this round, and you know, it's just a rough spot to be in.
Here.
Never got to see some of the cool tech. I think it might be restricted by admins at the bounce house we've been talking about. But
Could be. Yeah, we didn't see on defense at all.
yeah,
I don't know. It's
So, yeah.
incredibly hard to set up properly, and more likely than not, you're going to lose your util for nothing.
I've had a gold player be able to set it up for me, so
Well,
had to flex that I'm higher than gold.
right on.
Please notice me.
Make control for TSM Academy.
Right there.
Definitely there. Oxygen
Yeah.
Academy definitely playing the more recent strategy and the wave of let's just give it up and set up our trademarks and killjoy util or whatever it may be.
And breach util,
Yeah.
raise util. They have
Make
a
it
lot
a nightmare
of
to
stuff
come out of those spots.
Yeah, that is for sure. B Heaven is definitely off limits, but the wall actually goes up for the actual site itself, and a nebula smoke allows Harmful to walk up Redux. He's watching for it, though. And there you go. Spectre finds the success, and Redux, a second one. 3v3. They're going to try and push through the site. Are they going to try and get in towards spawn underneath Heaven? Verdi still with plenty of utility to at least try to keep forcing them back. Flash goes in, but turned, but still finds a headshot on Naribo. Trades go through. Venture needs it. Can't find the headshot on the
seconds.
Sheriff. So low on time, low on HP, low on manpower, low on rounds. 12-2. Oxygen Academy.
Match point.
One nail left in the coffin, essentially. But still not down yet. Still an opportunity for TSM Academy to break through and find this very Cinderella story comeback, essentially. 10 rounds in a row is what they need to win just to get to an overtime situation, and if they're not exhausted by that point, they still have to then win in the overtime. And it's going to be rough buys the entire way through. Eventually, the Oxygen Academy will be stacked up with ultimates to work with as well, and this is definitely a tough tale to tell.
Oh, Bucky works. Is it going to be the Bucky to start the comeback, folks? 2 for 1 to start, but Verdi has made his way onto the site. Still has all his flashpoints and aftershocks. Well, aftershock.
There.
Redux also playing the aggressive angle on towards the rafters. It is a perfect angle. Trying to look away from a potential flash because he had the setup from Verdi, but instead they both get ran down. And Rustin is not ending it today. 12-3. TSMA. I'll just say it. They get another round.
They still live. Breath still the lungs. I respect that. True competitors, they're keep fighting until the last breath is drawn kind of a situation.
Yeah.
A lot of that was just aggression that Oxygen Academy didn't seem to be like ready for. They were setting up for it positional wise, but TSM just plowed through full steam ahead. Getting a player advantage immediately. But Oxygen Academy will still be able to buy up just fine. Still running with Bucky's, man. I feel like,
Bucky.
I don't know.
Get Buckied. 1 kill, run through the smoke, get your 1, and you're done. Love the Bucky.
Still works out. Very economical, especially for close quarter holds. Verdi, though.
Don't tell me they win.
Speaking
this
of
round.
economical, headshots to the
Oh.
Sheriff to win the series? Maybe?
I would shed a tear.
Same.
No, no. Oh, Verdi gets a double. And now the Shorty. The Shorty to add extra pain.
Front of the Vandal.
Verno's ready to swing. Redux is...
Redux first contact.
Oh, he's inside! No way! He almost ended it on the spot, but Venture is actually going to go down. Oh, he gets the 1v3. Actually, for TSMA, there's not going to be a thrifty to end it. 15 HP the margin.
That was scary how close that was, which just shows how scary it's going to be for TSM Academy. They may be the ones playing with Fade, but they're the ones who have fears to battle and wrestle with right now. It's still 8 more rounds to go. They have ultimates to work with, but the same could be said for Oxygen Academy, who can also make the buy-ups on their side.
Placing swarm grenade.
Oh boy.
You want to play?
Marvel's going to be
Let's
breaking
play.
out the tour de force, however. Still plenty for TSMA, but that's a sign of the times.
We found
Not
one.
sure what else is. Fade just not quite finding. I mean, is it massive impact? Is it really is it the agent's fault? Right now, 12 to 4, Oxygen Academy. Just gonna concede mid. Not gonna bother. Try to force out any side of attacker side utility that they got. This is an interesting way to use a Viper's Pit. In towards B heaven. To try and allow potential entry in. This is unique. Rebo almost goes down to paint shells, down to half HP.
Just control it, scare away the members of Oxygen Academy so they won't have solid heaven control. So when they explode out of garage, you won't have as many angles to work with. It's not going to be as many highs.
Face your fear.
Alrighty, here we go.
30 seconds left.
Nightfall
No
in
audio.
for Venture. No audio, but a trade of showstoppers. Papayan is still standing and fires one back into the back of sight, right into Rustin. And Birdie inside the pit, unable to deal with Revo. That's a very
Spike
interesting way to
planted.
lock out B Heaven. You're gonna need plenty more of those, though. As Verno, what a way it would be if he ended the series here. I don't think it's happening.
Nothing to save either, because I'm pretty sure they're sitting on a classic.
Yeah. Tour de Force looking out towards. Looking for one, looking for something. A little bit of the ego boost. He's gonna bounce away back to heaven. Into a Viper's Pit. Gonna actually nab a Vandal. This is not actually a bad save for Verno.
Yeah, now it is.
And no
And-
back away.
Talking about the fade, obviously there's value in it if the team's going to run it, especially teams at this level. The question of if it's more valuable than other options such as Breach is really what it is. Warbirds calls a timeout, realizing Oxygen Academy, they still have a lot of rounds to work with, but let's go ahead and do some food for thought right now so we can discuss it for the rest of the half is essentially what this is. And let's close it out sooner because it is getting late, so let's close it out. But yeah, with Fade, I can see the value, especially on attack, which is pretty much her strength anyway, where clearing out all these little corners because it's such a constricted map with all these winding choke points essentially, where you can clear out corners with the Prowler very efficiently, while also not being as locked in as you would be with using Trailblazer from Sky. You can also have 2 of them where Sky only has 1, and it's a lot more confirmed information.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a lot more scouting as well with this, with the your E,
Haunt.
the haunt.
Yep.
Yep. I keep calling it scout. I know that's the wrong word.
Silver Dart.
So
That's what it's called.
the ink balloon. But yeah, I think that with the fact that they pair it with a Viper, so they cut off noise with that ultimate. When they ran on the site just now, you can see that execution being very effective. Where behind that toxic screen, nobody can see and know where your team is at all, even if you maybe aren't even there. Maybe it's a fake. You know, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Placing alarm bot.
I think it's good.
All right.
I don't know if it's the best in the meta, but it's definitely valuable.
So Russell's just going to tuck himself away. Run a bit of a much more site-centered defense, and TSM Academy will work up towards middle. See if they commit on this, because a lot of the times they have just, like, taken mid control, walked up middle, and then just walked back to one of the extremities. This time around, it looks like they are considering the commit. into heaven. And into vents too. And all of a sudden this plays out of the hands of Oxygen A. They both drop into vents. No one's even there to hear it. And it even destroys the trademark. Nice satchel there from Pan. And so, in control established. Where are you going to go with it? Pressure applied on all parts of the map. It's like Oxygen Academy might just be... Their defense might just be cut in two. And so, Redux. You have some magic. This could be a good paint shells if they were coming his way. They're back in events, and they're about to turn this one into a fast A split. The read is starting to come through. Verdi does have a Rolling Thunder. I'm not sure he wants to invest it unless they get some sort of foothold on the round. Excellent smokes tossed in to get them some space in here. They don't have flashes. They're going to have to run through smokes right here. And there's only 15 seconds. You can't win it on a Thrifty like this. How does Verdi get the kill in a Venture? The spike's down. What? They're going to win the round on a Thrifty. The time's too low for this. Verdi's just gotten 3. And it's going to be Oxygen Academy on virtue of time. They are going to win their second event in a row and establish their own little miniature era.
How Verdi stayed alive there is insane. The kill with the Spectre towards the end as well was immaculate. What a hold of the site, and TSM Academy just burned too much time trying to make their way in. Oh my goodness. We saw that a couple times in the past where TSM would take too much time on their attack. They are traditionally a lot more of a composed and patient team on attack, which is why it was a little bit surprising they went a lot more aggressively, especially on Ascent. Caught Oxygen Academy by surprise a few times, that's for sure, but yeah. It's tough to see, for sure. But overall, great showing by both teams. High key, it just Oxygen Academy looked amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about the last round because the smokes that were dropped in an instant there from Nerf to kind of cover the gaps between the screens, gives them so much space to work with on the site that you can just play anywhere. You can play behind the screens, behind the smokes, and then they have to push through without a flash. That is going to be easy pickings if they go in one by one onto Verdi. And, I mean... I think and that is kind of a testament to the snap decision making that Oxygen Academy are able to do as a team that's been playing together for so long. The only player that was the last player that they removed on their team was Trent, who got taken up by the guard. If you remember the Habib days. I mean, and then ever since, you know, Trent's been on the guard. This team has been together as a solid unit, and man, do they look good.
Yeah, they look amazing. I like that you mentioned that as a point I was wanting to make about the SAP calls and SAP responses. How fast they were to respond to what TSM Academy was bringing to the table was very impressive, and they did it very efficiently too. It was pretty clean in the way that they looked out to support each other. You can tell that they definitely have been putting the lab hours in for executions, effective screen time, things like that. And you can see their upward trajectory. That's 2 events in a row for Oxygen Academy after previously only making it to like quarters, semis, maybe a grand final here and there, but never actually getting the grand prize. They step up last week, their very next events, they win it yet again. And I also got to give credit not only to the team, but also to Warbird. Somebody just came in and, like, you know, corresponding elements of they were struggling to get that grand prize before. Warbird comes in 2 in a row.
Yeah, and these type of tournaments are where you're able to stamp yourself into this kind of space. This is what gets you out there as a unit, right? And kind of tells people that, yeah, you're here to play, right? You can take down TSMA in pretty convincing fashion. They've taken down New York Fury just a week back. This team is starting to find consistency in this day and age. So, I mean... Now we're seeing its own little miniature come up. We've seen our crews dominate events. We've seen even the little moments of TSM Academy have their time in the spotlight. And now perhaps Oxygen Academy are here to stay as a team and as a unit.
Yeah, for sure. Looking forward to everything they provide in the future too. And it was really awesome to see that they were 2 things. One, able to adapt and make adjustments to come out really strong, and it was yet again that story of the first team that won, the other team came back and just dominated, but then the other team came back and won and they dominated essentially, same as how the semifinals went. So great to see that teams can maintain good mental and make adaptations throughout the series, come back stronger. And also the fact that they called the timeout at 12-5. Like, they were 12-5 and they call a timeout because they realize, you know what? There's no reason for us to throw away another like 5 rounds and make this a close one if you have like a bad read or something. Call a timeout then. Like, let's go ahead and call a timeout right now. Make it happen to where we can just kind of shut down that momentum, make adjustments as it is.
Yeah. And well, folks, we have a post-match interview up and ready to go. It's the 15-year-old star of the squad. It's Redux, and well, he made us gasp and all the good stuff. What is going on, Redux? Well, this last week has been quite eventful for you guys.
Of course, yeah. We won 2 events back-to-back, Knights and NSG. My voice is a bit scrappy right now. If that wasn't obvious already, you know, going through puberty and all that. But it was really hard to comp these past 2 days. But you know, we persevered. Of course, yeah. I played really well this tournament. I mean, like, I know stats don't matter, but I was match MVPing like almost every game. Against TSM Cat, I was shutting down Harmful. I mean, honestly, he only got like 14 eco frags and then 7 up kills, so I'm not really concerned about that. Verdi is a great support player. He's been going nuts, and Verno especially, he's been winning like just insane clutches. I don't know. I think we're on a fire spot right now, and I know that we're the best academy team. You know what I'm saying? And Jimmy
It
with the
definitely
great
looks
calls.
that way.
Yep.
Yeah,
of
Jimmy
course.
being Warbirds.
No, Jimmy would be nerfed.
Nerfed, okay, gotcha. I don't know the first names of everybody quite yet. I haven't memorized the whole scene, unfortunately. But yeah, speaking of Warbirds, then how has it been with him coming in? Because you guys have had a lot of success overall, getting like quarterfinals, semifinals, some grand finals. But now, like, Warbirds comes in, and there was a trajectory that obviously the team has the capability, but now with a little bit of addition, that maybe was the difference maker.
Yeah, so Warbirds, he has like a good decent amount of experience, and you know, like when he calls techs or not tax, when he calls tax, it's really when he explains, like, what he says makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll tell us what we're doing wrong and what we need to do to fix it. He'll say the problem, and we'll fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There's not really much to say. Like, we don't even play split. I'm gonna be honest with you, Chief. We did not offline it at all. But Jimmy had some great calls, some great reads. I know Jimmy was reading Inox, what he was coaching, and like what he does and what he calls, especially on his scent. Like ascent and split, like Jimmy was reading everything. Right? Like, it's like he's X rank or some shit. Sorry, excuse me.
No, I mean, shoot, and also, like, I think generally speaking, individual form-wise, I think you're finally able to kind of stamp yourself as one of the top duelists in NA. So, when is your 16th birthday, my friend?
16th birthday. That's April 23rd, 2023. I had to look at the date for that one.
We gotta check our stopwatches for this one, because, well, first things first, you gotta run through these events and dominate this scene, and then stamp your name out for a tier 1 team. I'm sure everyone's looking out for you. How does it feel just to be playing well, so well individually in the last week? You've taken down so many, I guess, huge names, all things considered, with New York Fury just last week and now TSMA here. Generally speaking, how do you feel about your individual form?
Individually, I think I'm playing really well. Like, aim-wise, like, obviously aim-wise, I'm playing like pretty like insane. But obviously I made a few mistakes like in this tournament against other teams before. I don't think I made too many mistakes against TSM Academy, but before I was like, whether it was like over peaking or hunting eco frags, or like just simple things like that. But it's also like sometimes I have this habit of over calling Jimmy, and then we just lose like 3 rounds in a row, and it's just not good. So I just like to keep my mouth shut unless Jimmy doesn't have any ideas.
It's good to learn that dynamic development of that chemistry overall. We're going to wrap this interview up because it's late and your voice definitely could use some rest, it sounds like. So because you won, though, you have the moment now if you want to give any shout outs or thanks or anything like that you want to say.
Shout out to my mom for creating me.
It's a good thing to do. I'm glad she did as well.
Yeah, I love my mom.
Good stuff.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks a bunch, Redux. I mean, shout out to his mom. I don't know, the teammates and all that good stuff.
One more thing. Sorry to cut you off. Sorry.
Okay,
one more thing. I mean, I'm also single, and like I don't know. I mean, I'd say I'm pretty handsome, man. Like, my voice not like
so everybody knows.
You know,
He
just
is
making sure
15
you,
as
you
well,
guys
we
know
gotta
I
make it
am
known.
single. 15 and single. I'm a hot shot, you know
There
what I'm
you go.
saying?
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Redux. Appreciate it. Congratulations on the win. You guys played fantastic. So have a great night.
Thank
Well
you
earned
for the
victory,
interview. Take care, guys.
for sure.
He's looking out for every other winner's interview to try and signal, to try and drop the flare, fire it in the sky. He's single, folks.
That was a series for sure. That was definitely
That
interesting.
was a great series. That was a
Uh,
fantastic, exciting series that we got for a grand final.
I really want to see more Fade action. We saw basically she's definitely effective on Haven. She definitely can be effective on Descent and on Split. We've yet to see a lot of success on her, but I can see the theory there at the very least. So we'll see how that plays out. It's one of the things I'm looking forward to the most as we're continuing on this Nerd Street Champs is seeing all the teams coming out and competing, stepping up just like Oxygen Academy has, but also how they innovate with a new agent. This is one of the things about everything overall in the game of Valorant.
And, well, before we close out the day, we have to hit the sweet play of the day, brought to you by Mike and Ike, where you can take your candy game to the next level. Back at Mike and Ike, original fruits, you know, original fruits, mega mix, all that good stuff. We've heard it 100 times. And now, for that, the Mike and Ike sweet play of the day. Let's see what we got cooking up in the lab as, let's see what we got for today. This was, oh yeah, this was quite fun. Eco frags all you want, but Epathy is spitting like Marshall Mathers right now.
Yeah, those were nice shots for sure. Like just the amount of flicks, not even eco frags, but look at that shot like that.
And then this.
2 of those kills were flicks, and then up to the 4th one being a very aggressive push-up. You know they were feeling it. They were definitely overheating there, but the rest of the team was setting them up for it. You know, they're like, I'm just going to paranoia push it, just make it happen, you know, kind of situation. So awesome to see some pop-off moments like that happen.
Yeah, I mean, Epathy had a generous weekend, had a great tournament. Unfortunately, couldn't convert it against TSMA. And, well, I think the biggest shout-outs, however, goes out to Oxygen Academy, who take all of it, and they get all the circuit points for themselves. That quickly is going to build, and that might lead to them getting an invite to the main event. So if they can continue up this winning streak, they're looking to catapult themselves to the top of the Nerd Street Champs qualifier leaderboards now as they take this entire event for themselves, Chad.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what teams can provide as far as stepping up. I'm really looking forward to that because a $55,000 grand final event, like that's so hype. There's all these lands for qualifying spots and more points and these weeklies as well. Always exciting to see it all come into fruition. So looking forward to seeing all that. Looking forward to more events that you and I get to cover as well, and looking forward to seeing how long this streak for Oxygen Academy can continue on.
Yeah, that is stamped down the narrative. And how long it could continue on? Well, there's always next week's Nerd Street Champs qualifier, as these are going to be going on every week, as well as plenty of regional lands to check out. There is so much on offer here for the Nerd Street Champs qualifiers, so much to compete in. If you are a player yourself, you can sign up for these events. And if you're in the regional area for a regional land, form a team. Trust me, it's a blast. So there's plenty of opportunities, but this is definitely not the end of Oxygen Academy. I'm sure we're going to be seeing them next week and in plenty of other events too here, Chad.
Yeah, we'll be seeing them. Might not be the end of them, but it's going to be the end of this cast at the very least, end of the stream as it's getting late. We're going to sign off. The games are all over now, but definitely, like Fi said, check out more nursery events moving forward in its entirety, but also for the Valorant side of things. It's going to be next week. We'll be right back here for another weekly, lands on weekends here and there, so check out that schedule as well. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. Fi, Chad Lannis, awesome production team, Shelton, Sudi, Mel also, who stepped out because she was from Europe and definitely late for her, so shouts to her sticking it out, as well as Backwards for helping out with the administration as well. She did a great job.
Yeah,
I think last words?
Production, clean. You guys, folks at home who are still watching, you guys clean as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, wherever you are. North America, if you're from EU, you're pretty cool too. And anyhow, I think on behalf of myself and Chad Lantis, have a great rest of your evening, and, well, we'll see you again on another Nursery broadcast.